I have one that says yuck, but I'm not going to press that one.
Yeah, no. I'm sure we'll come up with our own yuck.
Oh, here we go. Dentist. That's a good one.
Hi, Gettysburg, ma'am.
Nobody wants to hear that.
That's so funny. You two wanted to hold your message because it said Happy Hump Day. All the crap that's on YouTube, and that's what they're policing.
All of the agita.
Okay.
And absolute
awesome.
garbage information and a rabble-rousing that's kicking around on this platform, and they want to can you for Hump Day.
And hello, Lisa and Errol. I'm happy to see you all. I'm happy Paul's here.
I can't even.
He wasn't sure this morning.
No, that's not about that. I'm just thinking about like getting in the queue because it's Happy Hump Day. Are you out of your damn mind? This is like. I'm not talking to Gettysburg because she just stated the obvious.
Of all the things that one could. Oh, hi, Ken.
I'm talking about YouTube. Are you out of your damn mind?
No magazines. Yep.
Oh, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, really. Excuse me, just a minute. Ah! Actually, I was supposed to see my dental surgeon this week. Well, not surgeon, it's just my dentist. Because I got a crown back here that's been like out of commission for way too long. And he had to cancel because I don't need to name it. You know what I'm talking about. So, postponed.
He has
postponed.
COVID.
And I woke up this morning and I'm like, second day in a row, I just don't feel great. And I'm like, I'm moving slow, blah, blah, blah. I just got concerned and I said, we have some tests.
Cocktails in the green room. I love it.
Here we go. We have some tests. So I took a test. And you know what? Negative. So,
hi, Abra.
So I guess
Good to see you.
I guess I just felt like crap. What the hell?
Well, yeah.
Crap at random.
Either he's negative. Well, his test came out negative. So either he's negative or he doesn't have enough of a viral load to make the test positive. Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Which kind of means
hi,
like
Ed.
Might be, might not be. Oh yeah, great test results there. That's
and
telling a lot.
Eric, good to see you all.
Oh, brother.
But we decided that
I should decide I could see better.
I decided to give it a medicinal theme.
Yeah.
This evening because why not?
Even if we hadn't been tipped to that theme, you take a look at if you're on the Northeast. Many people watching here. What's happening outside? It's like 10 degrees.
It's like, really cold.
Oh man, it's just like you feel like cloistering. You feel like you need something. You feel like dredging up all of those formulas from the back of ye old Mr. Boston that's like hot toddy. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I just said, whenever I'm feeling just like head coldish.
Head coldish.
This is probably close up to head coldish.
Hi, Jeff. Oh, I like Jeff. We live in a time when negative is positive. Exactly. Exactly. I take it as good news.
Any Superman fans out there? Bizarro World? Yeah. Gee, what the heck? Mr. Mixie Zitty Plicky? Whatever the hell that was. Can't even say that.
It feels like the Arctic. I know it is so cold, Auburn, right?
If this isn't the vortex, maybe it's just cold. So anyway, so I said, if I'm going to feel like this, I'm going to do
Ken,
what
that's
I
a good
usually
idea.
do.
Ken said you must create a cocktail called Viral Load.
Viral Load.
Well, I think we might have time for that. You can do one. Viral Load.
One could figure out such things. I just found one in here, the newest Mr. Boston, called Penicillin, which may belong in older guides too. I have to check to see if this is kicking around. Oh, actually, no, it said it's a fairly recent thing, which involves Scotch. And I'm like, we kind of have the Scotch to do that too. I make it on that.
Hello, Rick. Good to see you.
So anyway, yeah.
So do you want to go first or should I?
Oh, I guess I was one who was claiming, feeling like meh, so I might as well start that up.
I think you should make yourself a drink.
Start it up, and when I start it up, it never stops. Never stops. Never stops. I'm going to start with the glass. The glass.
And hello, great food and beverage.
Alan
nice Elizabeth, good to see you.
Double old-fashioned glass. I call them a DOF from time to time. That's what we're talking about. We got this, I've got a pair of these from my cousins. And they're really cool. You can see they're etched. It is really etched glass. I send them through the dishwasher, no problem. And it's literally like a map of like Queens, Manhattan. And it gives the coordinates where it is. I'm like, Jesus, this really solid base.
Oh, and hello. Man. Good to see you.
Cool. So, anyway, I am going to...
Okay, so he's making the...
I'll get back to you for just a minute.
Are you making the one you told me you're making?
I am, in fact.
He's going to make a bourbon stone sour, which we call cold medicine around here.
When I'm feeling under the
weather. Hi, Peter.
It is my cold medicine. Okay.
Let's raise a glass for Ronnie Spector and Burke Shelley from Budgie.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Are we talking celebrity?
Hold on.
News, man.
Oh, geez. Hold on. All right. Oh no. I didn't know she died. Oh, that's too bad. We saw her.
We saw her to a Christmas
she was
show.
Great. Yeah.
We actually had a friend
gosh.
who got tickets to the Christmas show. He couldn't go. I'm not sure he ever eventually did go, but we went and saw that at BB King's.
At BB King's, yeah.
This has got to be going back to about 2012 or something. And she comes out, she's all this tall without the hair. And she's about this tall with the hair and the heels.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She comes out, and the band is just like immediately ding-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding-dong-ding. What's right into it. And she was just
so
like,
good.
spot
She was
on.
so good.
I was like, oh, it was like 65 at the time. It was amazing.
Oh, quarantine.
So amazing. Oh. So I got to say, I'd recommend to see Ronnie Spector, except now you can't. So if you ever did, throw your story down here. We thought she was just great. Voice sounded great. She looked fabulous. What can I say? See all of your heroes while they are around to do it. Yeah. I've been recommending that on many shows, and there are many people we can recommend to see who are definitely up there. Tom Jones. And
don't curse people, please.
I don't want to curse people, but man, that's what it is. But jeez. Oh, he was good. Engelbert. Oh, jeez. That's like the smoothest man alive. And
Engelbert was... I loved seeing Engelbert, but it was kind of weird, too.
It was kind of weird.
He's like up there with a glass of wine, calling women up on stage to make out with. It was hilarious.
Half show, he leaves the stage, band vamps for a while. He comes back in the smoking jacket with a glass of wine. Hi, everybody. And it's just like, he's like, yeah, this is wine. It was really a lot of fun.
Oh, Devin. Well, Paul was feeling under the weather this morning.
Yeah, I didn't
so
feel
we've got like a medicinal purposes theme tonight.
I felt not good enough that I wanted to test, so I did. And you know what? Not that.
Yeah, his test was negative.
Head cold. No sniffles, really.
I've got more sniffles than he has.
Only sneezing is when I was making up the spice mixture, and I got a big hit of the cayenne. Now that's going to make you sneeze. But otherwise, that's that. So you know what I do when I'm feeling like that?
Oh, Abra, if you get a chance to see him, it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And very shame. We were like the only people in that audience who were like under the age of 75.
Pretty much.
And Paul was like one of the only men.
Yeah.
Seemed like it was all old ladies.
A lot of ladies.
So like they knew what they were getting into.
Ready to throw panties. And
they really were.
And that was when we saw Tom Jones. Same thing, panties were being thrown.
Yes.
Really pretty amazing.
Gettysburg Map. So all of these are doctor
yes.
Yeah, they're prescriptions.
They've been prescribed.
Yes, yep.
I need that little pad with
doctor's orders.
Little pad with the RX on it, and I need to scribble like incoherently. There you go. So we need 40 milligrams of erythromycin. Okay, yep, boom. That's 20 tablets. Take 2 to begin with, and then 1 every 6 hours.
Oh, I made some big ice cubes today, but I don't know if they're done yet.
I'm going to issue the big ice cubes just because I want to actually. Thank you. Thank you very much. So here we go. I'm actually using the tongs because, hey, we're trying to keep things sterile over here.
Oh, I hope Jessica's feeling... Well, you guys are both feeling better, but wow.
Yeah.
Jessica had a fever of 103. Oh, that's awful.
Oh, yowza. Well, this isn't going to help that. But when she starts...
Feel better.
When that breaks, and I'm saying when that breaks, and she starts feeling like, yeah, I could use some refreshment. Now, this would probably do some good. I'm choosing some really large cubes here. I'm going to find one more. That's
I like the creme de menthe idea, Anne. That's hilarious. I don't know if we have any creme de menthe, but...
Somewhere we might.
Somewhere we do. That's a funny idea.
We had something my mother bought, and that, at this point, is taking you back almost 10 years. Wow. Okay, so maybe that stuff's gone by the wayside. Anyway. Rocks glass. Bunch of rocks. 2 ounces of bourbon. How about some wild turkey? Now, there's a good place to start with. I happen to have a really great 2-ounce measure right here that comes from either the Imperial War Museum or the Navy Museum,
I'm
British
glad
Navy Museum.
Broke.
I'm going to, yeah, seriously. I was not feverish. I felt a little warm, but no, not like that. So I'm not complaining outside of I just felt like meh.
I did have COVID in November, and I never had worse symptoms than a head cold, but I know it's different for everyone. So
here we have an actual British Navy rum measure. This is a half gill. This is what they served the troops on the ship there for somewhere close to 300 years.
They're taught.
The daily tot. So I'm going to pour that. A half a gill should be a perfect 2 ounces. So I'm just going to kind of estimate where that line is because it is not dented on the inside of this glass. But that's about right. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. I was going to say.
Full gill obviously would be 4 ounces.
All right. Gotcha.
I believe 2 ounces is also called in.
Oh, all right. I love that.
Cocktail books.
So when I was a child, Mom gave me
honey.
whiskey and honey or creme de menthe when I had a cold.
Oh, well, it tastes like it. You know, you kind of think that it would be something cherry flavored, like the old Robitussin.
Oh, Sebs, a drink for Ronnie Spector. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes.
Things I just found out now that I'm like, oh man. I know it has to happen sometime, but oh man.
Dr. Abernathy called to see if you were in. He wanted mescaline. I gave him gin. I love it.
I think we're starting to get
okay. It's Alan and Elizabeth's go-to. Wild turkey.
Wild turkey.
Yeah.
Well, you know something?
Yeah.
I think I need to sample the wild turkey straight up, because if somebody just said, here, cures the common cold, you'd say, yeah, probably. It certainly clears the throat. Let's make this.
I'm not sure I'm cured. I better have some more.
Better try some more. Let's actually try something else in there. Now, the Bourbon Stone Sour, I think formula will tend to say about 1 ounce of orange juice gets added to this. Well, actually, let's make this a sour first. I'm going to add the lemon juice to this.
Oh,
and I'm adding ½ ounce of lemon.
I'm just looking at how much snow everyone got. We got probably about 4 inches, I'd say.
Now we got a pretty good sour going on. And some sources say add some sweet stuff to that, like sugar syrup. I'm adding orange juice. I don't need that. So I'm actually going to add 3/4 of an ounce of the orange juice of that formula.
Okay.
And this will stand in
Did
for
you still do the,
what you might throw into a whiskey sour like sugar syrup.
Did you stick to ½ ounce of the lemon?
I did.
Okay.
Give that a little shake here. See, it already looks a little medicinal, doesn't it?
Do you want a swizzle stick?
I'll take a swizzle.
I gotta go get one.
And as the resistance piece, I'm going to throw in some Angostura, because that sounds like a good idea in virtually any drink, and it will make it a cocktail. There we go. A couple of good dashes. I'm just going to throw that on top and just let it sit. So I've got just a little bit of that seeping in. You get that nice aroma.
Oh, I should have brought you a green one to match with your shirt.
Well,
well.
I have pink, and there we go.
Well.
So I have, in fact, now.
Peter, I'd count it as medicinal. Why not?
Yeah.
Red wine. Yeah.
There are doctors out there who are stating that, you know, your moderate red wine consumption appears to be beneficial. Now, they may be talking like a glass a day.
I don't know that much Squirty Politi, Eric. I know, like, the big hits, but that's it.
Squirty Politi.
Yeah.
I know.
Or Squirty Politi, as we called it.
Squirty Politi? Yeah, no, Squirty Politi.
Squirty Politi.
Squirty Politi. I know that their earliest stuff, their 80s hits are very pop. Very straight ahead new wave pop.
So
and then
cool.
you hear like their first album, and it's like, it's really abrasive sounding. It's like, wow, what happened there? Kind of like it. Well, I realized that what I really liked from that era that was much more abrasive than that was, who was the band with Nag Nag Nag? They had a pretty fun sound. Some very jarring sounding synth noises coming out of those guys. I can remember what the hell that was. I'll look it up. Anyway, so Bourbon Stone Sour. 2 ounces of the bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of the orange juice, ½ an ounce of the lemon, and throw a dash of 2 dashes of Angostura in there, over a bunch of rocks.
Oh, wait, you didn't tell me that you were going to do the Angostura.
Yep.
Hold on.
Sorry. Over some big rocks, give it a stir, done. You want to shake that and pour it into a cocktail glass. Hey, have it up. That works. That works just fine. Just do exactly the same thing. You can put the bitters in first, or you can kind of dash them on top of your cocktail glass. And guess what?
Hi, Jennifer.
Feels better on red.
Oh my gosh, it was 61 in Tulsa.
Boom.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky.
Yowza.
Jealous.
Could you send about 11 degrees our way, because we've been in the
Happy New Year to you, Jennifer.
low double digits, and it's just been whoa.
Oh my gosh.
If it were to get up to about like 22 or something, I would think that it was actually
Cabaret Voltaire.
reasonably like ball chilling cold. Cabaret Voltaire, thank you. Yep. You know, I forget these dang things, and I'm like, who was that again? Oh yeah, those guys. Those guys are really abrasive sounding, and I kind of like it, and it reminds me a lot of first couple of Bauhaus albums. Now that's goth.
Whoa,
jeez,
this is heavy.
That's like cadaver rock right there.
This bottle's so heavy, I should lighten it a little bit.
Lighten the load.
I'm gonna lighten the load.
It's a handle without a handle, so it's actually kind of hard to handle. You know, it's real funny, that bottle, but it's good stuff.
Since we're going with a medicinal theme, I've got a couple
nice.
for you of my own creation.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I forgot one of the ingredients.
No!
So I gotta go get it. But I'm calling this one Pink Pill.
I can hold on to the fort.
So I'm starting Pink Pill with 2 ounces of Reposado tequila.
And that's a fine way to start virtually anything around here.
You know, no, I'm going to stick to my original plan.
Sticking to it.
Pink Pill.
The pink pill.
2 ounces.
The little pink pill. If you had the little yellow pill, you'd be referring to something else.
Be right back.
Hmm? Oh, it's looking good. Yeah, I like that.
Sour cherry cordial.
Sour cherry cordial.
So I'm going to do a half ounce.
If you
cork
could
is really
possibly get the cork out of that one.
Half ounce sour cherry.
You should try the cork and the gum syrup. Oh boy, does that want to stick.
All right. It's looking a little brown.
Distinctly brown. Because
the pink pill might be a little brown.
Brown pill.
That's okay.
Little brown pills.
And then I'm going to do a half ounce Campari.
Should get redder. Campari is heavily...
I have a secret weapon if it's not red enough.
My secret weapon.
Okay, it's getting redder.
Much redder. Definitely.
It's going to be more of a red pill.
Sometimes...
I'm going to add some lemon juice.
We make one of these classic drinks that calls for grenadine. And our grenadine we made ourselves. And it's not the carmine red.
No.
So your pink drink comes out a little more of a beige drink. And you're like, well, maybe I'll have some food coloring. But, I got to say, the grenadine you make yourself is really good.
Can you change that to 1, please?
1 ounce of...
I'm going to do 1 ounce of the lemon juice.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy peasy.
It's getting...
I said oomph.
Well, that's not pink at all. But hold on.
That's not pink at all.
Hold on.
Wait.
I'm still going to call it Pink Pill.
Don't ask now. How much would you pay?
Now how much would
you pay?
Maybe I'll change it to Red Pill.
It's a red pill. Now that should definitely help. 2 dashes.
2 dashes Cranberry Bitters.
Now that's definitely going to take it up.
Going to up the pinkness.
The pinkiness. The Cranberry Bitters definitely add color. These are heavily colored and bitter, and it's like this very tart.
All right, we gotta go
fruity
back
bitter,
to
like you might expect. I get the comments.
Right.
Like you might expect there's something called Cranberry Bitters. We use those a pretty fair amount, and I recommend them. So, Caltonic! Woohoo!
Hi, Jeremy. Good to see you.
Mommy's little helper. No, when you start talking little yellow pills, there was a band called 2020
Little yellow.
had a song called Yellow Pills. I heard them on the radio the other day. Not that song. And I was thinking, what are yellow pills? Yellow pills are Valium.
Yep.
So, there you go.
Hi, Jack. Good to see you.
There we have it. Winter road trip.
I know.
Seriously. I need some degrees.
Okay, Eric's saying they're on the same label. Unlabeled, same label of the time. Okay, yeah, rough trade. Got it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. They had a sound, and rough was a pretty good description of what was happening with that sound. Did they have Deruti column too?
I'll take a.
They had a tendency to sound a little brittle sometimes.
I will take a glass, please.
A glass.
A chilled glass.
A chilled glass.
Yes.
A chilled cocktail glass.
A cocktail.
Let me see if I can simply get
Don't
you one
mind.
of those. What a good idea, huh?
Thank you.
How about that?
Because we need it to be colder.
You need to be colder.
In
Yeah,
here.
well, if you just leave them out there in the tiki room, then it'll get plenty cold.
All right, I'm
Shortly.
gonna keep the name Pink Pill, even though it's kind of a
Well, it's slightly more of a red pill, but that's
deep
looking pink.
Deep pink.
That's looking pink. Yeah,
It's a deep pink.
but definitely. So, yeah, I tell you, it really has gotten down into.
It's really good.
We're not in single digits. It is, but you get below, say, about 22 F, and you go outside to grab the recycle bin, and you're like, get that up the driveway fast.
Yeah.
Because, and you better be wearing gloves, because just the walk down there and back again can be enough to make your bones start to pop. And,
Hi, Jamie.
my manager, who is substantially further north of us, now in Vermont, was reporting that the thermometer was reading -8, or the report was reading -8, and the wind chill was reading -22. There was a point where the school simply closed. I suppose the doors froze shut. Sorry, kids, stay home.
Peter says, as long as the drink goes down smooth and color is all relative. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Although it looks, I can see it on the video, and it looks pretty. Like, I'm gonna live with this amount of pink.
That pinkness is great, and I like that phrase. Hey, the bourbon stat. You know, there's some medicine for you.
Bourbon stat.
You know, I was imagining, back in the day, of course, medicine is a pretty high tension profession, and a hell of a lot of smoking was going on back in the day. And after hours, I think a hell of a lot of drinking.
I think I gotta add the. All right.
Of course, that was an era where,
I don't know yet.
Your average Joe was actually doing a fair amount of drinking. And probably would have had one of these babies from time to time. I always think this is cold medicine because of the high content of the citrus in there. It's like you get a lot of juice. It feels healthy.
Sherry says, is it me or does everything look really red?
It does look very red. We got all this red behind us. I got a red lamp in here.
Hey, I changed the lights.
Lights are not red, actually. But I think the cast, the actual color we're getting off of these lights is a little more orange.
The lights were red behind us until the new year when I changed them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Shooting about Cabaret Voltaire.
No, suddenly that's a discussion point. I have them on a sampler. I forget what the hell it's called. I think it's called
Peter. Hi, Phil. Good to see you.
I think it's a sampler called Wanna Buy a Bridge. That might well be on Rough Trade. I have to check that. And that was the first time I heard them. I'm like, wow, what's with these guys? You know?
This is where Skinny Tight and Thrift Store Blazer to a 2020 show back in the day. Still got vinyl. I love it.
I just sold that record. I'd had that for years. I gave it a listen. I'm like, I could live without it. Well, what is this worth up on Discogs? Oh, more than I really need to hold on to this for. So it's sold. So I'm like, great. Because, I could just go over there and grab the music and listen to it anytime. I picked it up for very cheap. So did okay on that one. But it was a cool looking record, actually. I remember seeing, I had like one of those guides to records that was some English guide. So they were really deep into bands, like really deep cuts into bands. And like, who's this? Who's this? And I would find these records for cheap, pick it up and take a listen. Oh, okay. I believe they were Bay Area, but I could be totally wrong. I think they were definitely California. And I think 2 albums on a major label. I think it was Portrait or something, which was a CBS label. And no big hits or anything, but they got the attention of the music publications. So it's a good thing.
Oh, Peter says my hands have already chapped and cracked.
If I were like riding a train every day, oh yeah, I'd be there.
Ugh.
Too much exposure. And I used to keep just a container of what was that stuff? Just the Neutrogena, like the really dense, heavy stuff that smelled kind of funny because like nothing. These would just turn into alligator skin. And what are you gonna do? Glop the stuff on.
Winter.
What are
you gonna do?
It gets dry, and it gets bitter. Bitter.
Here says, I didn't know Cabaret Voltaire until they were featured on a compilation of ambient house music. Okay.
Funny bit. They are just one of those groups who I think this is normally thrown into the post-punk category. And you think, this is what happens after punk, What the hell does that mean? It's a total catch-all that's kind of stupid. But a lot of groups did kind of hit that, and it's groups like Gang of Four, and who do we keep seeing on DJ Jimmy? He always plays a lot of Joy Division. Plays a lot of Joy Division. And they were right there at the period where they could make like 10 videos before their lead singer got depressed and hanged himself. And then they had to reform and come up with a new name.
Well, that's just...
But they're well documented. You think, they weren't around that long with that guy before he killed himself. But they actually was a lot of video happening.
This is a nice discussion.
It was like 1979. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Bauhaus and all their creepy music and Voltaire.
I like Bauhaus.
And all their...
and Joy Division.
Voltaire and all their like abrasive music. It's just like, all this alienated stuff. The Normal. Anybody remember The Normal? Man, what a great single. So,
what about Sisters of Mercy?
Oh, that's a great one for the goth set. I mean, they...
Oh, Mercy.
Definitely.
Well, Lisa and Errol said it's 61 where they are, so...
You can reveal whatever...
You can reveal your in shorts.
You can reveal whatever you like. And hopefully the shorts are not that revealing. Whoa! I tell you. There's no pictures here, folks. We're just talking about it.
somebody is feeling a little healthier.
Oh, you take a little cold medicine and things help out. But I will assume that your temperature range is allowing a slightly more aloha style.
How about the
wear.
fall? I don't really know the
put
fall.
that one. Oh, the fall. Oh, yeah.
Why? What would I know?
I don't think you know anything from the fall, but a distinctive lead singer. He's got this cadence that you can always tell him. I think he just died recently too. So all these people are dying. But I heard some on the radio recently, and they do a version of a song that you hear every year on the Kid Show on FMU. Like that song, "I'm a Mummy." Mm-hmm. I'm a mummy. I scare people. The Fall does a version of that, and it's crazy because it's like in their style. I'm like, why'd they cover this? But they're kind of fun. They're pretty abrasive too. They're pretty obnoxious too.
Well, there you go.
Well, there we go. A lot of these
That's
sorts of
the
things.
Fall.
Talk about a lot of these groups from that period that were like very, very alienated sounding music, and I like a lot of that. And then there's some of them I'm like, okay, that's pretty intense. Nurse with Wound, and that's just like a noise band, man. Boy, but Peter, I bet you know that. And who else in that class would have done? Well, Susie and the Banshee starts out as like straight up for class A1 punk rock. Then they get like a lot more new wavy post punk. They have some very sparse sounds, and then they eventually end up sounding very gothy. I think she kind of denied that they were like trying to be a goth band, but they're the soundtrack for a lot of gothy stuff, I will say.
Well, yeah,
that's for sure. So, and she has a particularly penetrating voice, so that actually does add to the fun. This Mortal Coil. I do not know them. I know the name. I know the name a lot. And 4AD, there's another one. Boy, we're just talking these like tiny English labels.
Oh yeah, love Susie, Devin.
I tell you, we're starting. I'm going to start like putting down the websites for all back issues of New Musical Express and all that kind of thing. Trouser Press. All those English musical publications that were just full of music reviews. I used to subscribe to a magazine.
Music publications are like that.
They might
full
be.
of music reviews.
No, some of them do it a little better than the others.
Oh, Paul Warren and Explorer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we got two Pauls here. So.
Couple Pauls happening.
Yep.
Romeo Void.
Oh yeah, Romeo Void.
Yep.
Love Romeo Void. Peter can vouch for Nurse
with Wound.
Nurse with Wound. Okay.
Romeo, we keep saying on DJ Jimmy, and they also had a bit of a jagged sound too. They remind me slightly of James Chance.
Plimsolls, I remember.
Plimsolls.
Yes.
That's your straight ahead like your rock band.
I definitely remember.
Featured on stage, lip sync job in the movie Valley Girl. It's like, no, that's product placement right there. That's pretty good. It's pretty fun. A million miles away.
When I had to go to the emergency room, I came home. This was like summer of 19, so it's not recent, but I had to go to the emergency room, and I came home and I couldn't move, so like I basically parked myself on the sofa and just put on what I watched, Clueless and Valley Girl.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yep.
It was like got a heating pad, like to work the lower back, and kept your glass topped up, and you were in good shape, better shape, I tell you.
Glass. My glass. It was on heavy painkillers, so I wasn't really drinking. No.
Oh, I think you had something anyway. But yeah, you did have some pretty good stuff. Cocteau.
Yeah. Okay. Cocteau Twins.
Oh, Song to the Siren. Isn't that that's a cover song of a Tim Buckley song, isn't it? Oh, that's a very pretty song. That's a very haunting song.
Did we see that on DJ Jimmy?
We might have.
I think we did.
I'd have to look that up and check it out. You can see Tim Buckley singing on the Monkees.
Oh, Earth Girls Are Easy. We watched recently too.
Oh yeah.
I of course saw all these back in the day, but it was fun to watch them again.
That one's fun. That one's actually that was well. It's a goofy damn picture, but it was pretty fun.
Yep.
And of course, really great central role for Gina Davis.
Yeah.
So sometimes in pictures that she did, she wasn't. I think Hollywood had a little problem with how to use her, but when it clicked, she was good.
Well, she was on Glow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great.
Oh, Sherry, because I'm a blonde.
Oh, jeez, there you go.
She's great.
There you go.
She's really great.
we're moving into something a little more melodic here. And, of course, Julie Brown really hit the comedy hard and fun. Big fun. I'm thinking also of...
shoegaze music.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole sort of a genre. Who am I thinking
What's
of that
that?
fits that?
I don't even know what that is.
All these bands that were apparently just kind of coming up like very remote and shy and were kind of like staring at their shoes the whole time.
I've never heard that term.
That's a fairly moronic way to describe a genre of music, but I think that it's just the sort of thing that when you've got all these bands doing a thing, you have to figure out what the hell you're going to call it at the end of the day. I mean, you could say something like punk, and it might sound like a specific thing, although then I was taking a look at a list up on Spotify of like, history of punk, and there's all this stuff that was not punk at all.
Oh, I like them
So,
big and
like, forget it.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, you're talking about my music here.
This is, and we're kind of like
Hi, Disney for the win.
verging on some Rhino Records territory there with that kind of comedy.
Oh, just discovering exotica and
there
tiki
you go.
music in general. Well, we do
Oh,
have
boy.
suggestions. Well,
Hey, you know the big three
I
saints.
know you know Martin Denny, Arthur Lyman,
Denny, Lyman,
Les Baxter,
There's your big like canonical stuff there.
Robert Drasnin.
Anything in the catalog is good. Drasnin did manage to crank out 3 albums that were like just straight up exotic stuff, because he did an album and then a sequel, and he had a whole bunch of stuff recorded for another sequel, and here we go again. He dies. But that, what is that? It's not called Taboo.
Vaporwave.
What the hell is that Drasnin album called anyway?
There's Taboo, Taboo 2,
Or is it just
Taboo
called Taboo?
3. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Taboo 3 comes out after he died on... trying to remember the label. Another small
we
label
have
from
it over there?
California. We do. I could just go take a look at it and
Take
grab
a
it.
look.
If I go grab the record, I need not conjecture.
There you go.
I never have it.
For contemporary bands, you got Waitiki. Fantastic. Tiki-Aki Orchestra. I don't know, is Don Tiki still around? Anyway, you could look for Don Tiki. There's a lot, actually. Why don't you bring some records over?
Well,
Bring over some exotica. We'll do show and tell. Esquivel. Yeah,
Let me find
Esquivel.
some likely things.
Love. Yeah, Voodoo. Henry Mancini. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Hank.
Yes.
Cannot go wrong by any means.
Wait. Okay. This computer is weird. Remember Julie Brown from MTV? I know. I do too. I do too. Does anyone here? Oh, thanks Disney for the win. Does anyone here know the movie Modern Girls? That's one I love, and that one had a really great soundtrack. And you don't hear as much about it. It's on Pluto, but I think I saw on Pluto it's expiring. So if you have Pluto and you haven't seen it, get busy. He's putting together a selection. Oh, okay. Lisa likes Don Tiki. Yeah, there's like Downtown Julie Brown too.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Oh gosh, she's got a huge stack to bring over.
Let me talk about this for a while. I'm finding a lot of stuff that I was not on the tip of my head.
He's got a big stack for you. So it makes me think of Legally Blonde. I got a big one for you.
There it is. Voodoo. It's called Voodoo.
Yeah.
The Drasnin thing. We were saying Taboo.
Oh, Voodoo. Yes, thank you. Voodoo. Why was I thinking Taboo? Because we have an Arthur Lyman Taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taboo,
Anyway,
Taboo,
whatever. Ferrani and Teicher. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely like in that easy listening category, but you could definitely play them in a tiki environment, and depending on the album, it wouldn't be weird. Hello, Daniel, and hello, Amy. Good to see you both. Paul's putting together a record selection to bring over. Oh my God. Just bring them all.
Yeah, bring the lot. Right?
Just bring the what?
There we go.
All right. He's got a pile.
Let's get
He's
exotic.
got a big one for you.
You know, the funny thing is we started up talking about these noisy abrasive bands, and we're about to get right back there by talking about Martin Denny, because that will immediately...
Because he's so noisy and abrasive.
That will immediately take us back to throbbing gristle.
Oh, that's true, though.
I just made Peter happy. So, look, a lot of stuff here. This is all over the place. Some of the stuff is more alcoholic than what we call exotica. But, you know, you see an album simply called Exotic Percussion.
That's a good album.
Called Phase 4. Stanley Black was just a conductor who did a lot of these albums for this UK record label, right? But really cool, great sound production. Sounds good on your hi-fi. And it's got all of these classics like Bahia, Mizzaloo, Munamanakoro, Jungle Drums. This is a cool selection. Sounds great, well orchestrated, a lot of fun. And you'd like it. And you wouldn't think, this is not the first thing you're going to think of when you think Exotica, but...
Eric, they did a lot of albums. We have a fun one over there that... I should just bring it over. Well, when it's my turn to bring over records, I'll bring it over. It's got a great cover.
Okay.
The
group that performed at the Tahiti in Columbus, the Beachcomber Trio. Tapes were discovered, and our buddy Jeff Chenault actually put together a good selection, and these are released on Bacchus Records. Really quite good sound, and they have really good selections. It's very straight up exotic affair. Not only you get your Quiet Village Beyond the Reef, but also a really great version of Sway.
I need to break in here.
Please, if you would.
Devin says, I'm looking for this thing I saw at an event. It's a wooden box that plays records, CDs, and cassette tapes. I want one. I have no idea what they're called.
Well, it's probably one of those all-in-one units that will do all three. The wooden box is just to make it look kind of classic. My advice on those things is if you have some really rare records, this will not treat them very well. It will play all three. I also know a friend who bought one, and then the CD player quit, and then the cassette player quit, and I think they're down to the record player. And I think as soon as that quits, this thing is destined for the junkyard.
I'm sure Paul can make some suggestions for you.
Not the most durable thing, but could you duplicate that with separate units for not a hell of a lot of money? Yeah. Just send me a PM. We can make some good recommendations. And you can get a very nice turntable that will not damage your records.
Amy's asking how you're feeling.
Thank you. I am feeling considerably better because hours have passed and I hydrated and I had some broth and things like that. And I was upright all day. It just felt like, yeah, man, what the hell? And then I had one of these and I'm like, I feel pretty good.
I feel amazing.
So thank you very much for inquiring. I know that we announced that. I earlier today, beginning of the day, I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
Facebook keeps dropping the connection.
Eventually I got there.
All right, let's keep going. Keep it going.
So that's the Beachcombers. Definitely worth your time. Contemporary, I think it's still available in the catalog. Oh, another contemporary one. Contemporary band, Creepzonica. They are an interesting sort of combo of a bit of exotic sound, a bit of surf, and they perform in masks. And this has some really cool stuff on it. Dionysus, that's a label to watch. Am I mistaken, or is this on colored vinyl? Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, it's clear.
Oh, clear vinyl.
Don't you love clear vinyl? You know. Collectors will say it doesn't sound as good. Yeah, whatever. I played this. It sounds great. So, boom. Somebody not to be completely overlooked. There was a guy named Jack DeMello who made a whole bunch of records in the period. And I think it had something to do with like the tourism board. And this is one of these things which is
Hawaii,
like some really typical Happy Holly stuff, but it's very groovy sounding.
Yep.
And it's actually produced for Aloha Airlines, friendliest name in flight, music of Polynesia, Honolulu, Hawaii. This is one of these things I had seen for years, and I finally picked it up. I'm like, this is cool. This is fun. So this is probably not that hard to find, worth your time. When we talk Denny, I really, really like the live album. This has some unusual material. It doesn't have any of his big hits. It does have some really good selections.
That's a good one.
Great sound. It's recorded at Duke Kahanamoku's in Honolulu.
I mean, not that there are bad ones, but I particularly like that one.
I particularly like this one. And who is playing on this one? He's got pretty much his classic second lineup here. Harvey Ragstone bass, Tommy Vig on vibes. Very cool sort of a thing. He didn't actually have Julius Wechter at the time because Wechter
Satellite
was already playing with the Bob Marimba Band. So
good to see you.
You know, classic exotica back in the 19th century meant stuff that looked like this. Carmen Dragon, yep, that's dad of Daryl Dragon. Performing stuff like Arabian dance, Persian dance, Turkish march, Song of India. That's like that era of exotica, and that's like some basically like classics, and it has the sound. And this you should be able to find for a song. Nobody is trying for big bucks on this record.
For a song.
But you can probably find this up on one of the services and sample it before you can buy a record or a CD or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So we were talking about Mr. Dresden. Here's the third one, Voodoo 3. There's Voodoo 2, Voodoo 3.
Hi, Joe.
All worth your time. This one is great, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we love the Cramps.
Oh, Joe. There's another good one.
Yeah, the Cramps are great.
Hey, blue vinyl. Can't be beat. So, all a lot of fun. Yeah, this was assembled after he died from a series of tapes that they'd been recording. They were all over the place. Took a lot of work to make them sound cohesive. So I'm going to credit the producer on that. Skip Heller managed to make this sound really, really great. And it's a great tribute to who was a fantastic arranger, you know. You'll see his name. You watch old episodes of Men from U.N.C.L.E. What name comes up all the time? Robert Dresden Music.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun. So,
and on Chips, too.
And he did Chips.
He did, like, the score music
for Chips.
I love Chips.
Here's a fun one for you. This is on Cameo, Cameo Records, which didn't outlast the 60s. Made a whole series on 35mm film. These sound fabulous. And the Hawaiian Islanders, what a great cover. It's a great selection of pretty typical Happy Holiday stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot better sounding than your typical Cameo.
Soul of Hawaii.
Soul of Hawaii. So worth your time. And of course, any record which actually boasts the 3 inches worth of the sound production studio at the top there. You see what their priority was, right?
It's geeky.
Pretty geeky. How about Ishtahuele, who I believe comes to us from Denmark?
Well, obviously. He loves it.
There we go. I kind of figure out what these guys actually are from. These guys are absolutely Scandinavian. It's a contemporary exotic one. They sound like they're in a Denny vein for no question whatsoever. And this is, I believe, it's black vinyl. What do you know? I thought it was white, but
it's regular
plain old black.
Vinyl.
What do you know? Cool stuff. A lot of fun. Subliminal Sounds. Tiki Diablo. And okay. Yes, Mr. Lyman is well represented in the collection. There's Taboo 2. Anything that's got a sansa on the cover is going to tell you need to buy this record. And I would recommend this hands down. I don't need to tell you about Arthur. Just buy them. So there you go. Here's one that doesn't get too much press, but is definitely in the vein. This is closer to the 19th century exotica. This Song of India, Rain in Rangoon, Limehouse Blues, Nagasaki. Those are actually like teens, 20s kind of songs too. The Marco Polo Adventurers, great cover. If that doesn't make you want to buy the record, I don't know what does.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of fun. You've got all these characters happening on there, and it's like, Zowie, who's the dame, right? Well, she's not playing on the record.
Zowie.
Orienta, and also available in hi-fi stereo, so worth your time.
Oh, Errol says, looking at the records and hearing the discussion, I realize I've lived a sheltered life.
Well, have we got some suggestions for you? Check some out, and maybe you'll like it, kid.
Lewis says, lose the shrink wrap, Paul.
What shrink wrap? No, it stays.
Oh.
Now these guys.
He'll make a little slit so you can hear, get the record out, and he'll leave the shrink wrap on it.
Protects the cover. So here we go. These guys are awesome. We've seen them a few times.
Kings, they're great.
By now. This is a collection on an LP from various
We've
recordings.
played that on the show. They actually gave us permission to play it. So,
and fabulous sounding record, just like really velvety sounding record, and also features a guest vocal by who is on this? Girl Talk with Buddy Greco.
Oh yeah.
Before he died. Now this is going back a few years, definitely. And it's got London Notes by Coop Cooper. Boy, this one's all over the place.
Oh yeah, Coop Cooper. We were on his radio show I was like a gazillion years ago.
Comes with a digital coupon if you don't have an LP player, but you just want to have that 12-inch cover hanging in your hi-fi room. Yeah, etc. Martini King's worth your time, definitely. This is one of those that is really just a collection of Hawaiiana. I don't think it's even hapahale. I think it's like music that's more like very traditional songs and hulas and things like that. But look at that cover. You got this guy casting the net. You get this big-looking stereo banner. James Missioner.
Oh.
Jeez.
Sherry says, I picked up an Alfred Apaka cassette for $1. Some say I got ripped off. I thought it was fun, even if it was cheesy. You know what? For $1.
A, you can't go wrong for a dollar.
I don't think you could say that about a dollar.
B, Apaka is one of the classic vocalists. He was so smooth, and I think he died young, which is very unfortunate.
Hi, Miko 9.
So, he kind of he was very, very popular in his day, and then is not as well remembered, except that there's a lot of Apaka out there.
Oh.
So I think he's got that sound. I'm definitely getting there. Let's put it that way.
You get another vote for the Tahiti record.
The Tahiti record.
Stack.
Oh, Tahiti Island of Paradise. I haven't gotten there yet.
You can see though.
You can see these things, right? How about a vote for Corla? Corla is a fascinating character. He had a TV show early 50s out of Los Angeles. I think it was 15
Not really
minutes.
named Corla Pandit.
Not actually Corla. Not actually South Asian, as a matter of fact.
No.
But he came up with a fantastic
great liner
story.
notes on the Missioner record.
And just great stuff. And he just plays this hypnotizing organ. He used to just play to the housewives in Los Angeles and he was just stare. And it was just like, what the heck is this? And it's just, he's all over the place. He's playing I think a lot of standard of what we would call sort of theater music of the 20th century. He's got a great style. And this is actually a later collection, including some stuff recorded in the 90s, I think. So, big fun. This one is actually released.
I have seen his apartment. It's amazing.
Let's see. I can't even tell what the label this is. Turban Dome Stereo. Big fun.
I think I paid like $2 for that.
It was at the, I think
it was at the WFMU
fair.
record
fair.
fair.
Yeah, it was just there. I don't think it was considered much of a deal at the time, but it's probably pretty collectible by now. Because I'm sure it's out of print. So, but big fun. And there's a whole bunch. He was on Fantasy. There's a bunch of him, and you can usually find those on red vinyl. That's a lot of fun. How about Slowey? We've seen these guys play live a couple of times at a brunch. What a great soundtrack for a brunch, these guys. Yes. They're just playing straight up Papa Holly.
Corla. Yeah.
With
Hi, Doug.
Very traditional arrangements. They have a steel guitar. I think they've got an organ, sometimes stand-up bass, drum kit. And they just, all these great selections on this.
Hi, Kelly.
Some vocals. High Tide Records. Good old High Tide gave you this guy. These guys are tons of fun.
I didn't see the documentary. I haven't seen that.
Let's see what we got here.
I heard about
Good old Black.
Yeah.
Good old Black.
The documentary about Corla Pandit. Yeah, I gotta see that.
How about our buddies Tikiaki?
Tikiaki, yeah.
You know, one of the contemporaries, and certainly contemporaries of our next guy, Waitiki.
Yep.
And I think this whole album was actually played by Jim Bucky, who is the sort of leader of. And then he has to form a band to learn to play the songs, right?
Aww.
Could be mistaken on that. And this is red vinyl. Love color vinyl. This is a fun record.
Oh, Eric, we should do a Herb Alpert live video sometime.
Boy, that we could put together that playlist with Abandon. We own all of the classic Herb on records. All of them.
Oh, more than one copy.
Mono and stereo. I just decided that was the challenge because they're so common. And I could tell you about that later. That's a real fun challenge. And then I decided, let's up the challenge. Find them all on tape.
Oh, Ursula 1000. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one of our favorite pre-pandemic pastimes when we were at record stores was to find the Herb Alpert records. And if not if they were alphabetized or anything, but like if they were just random.
At a thrift store? Yeah.
Yeah, like at a thrift store or something. We would just put all the Herb Alpert records in front.
You face the TJB right in front.
It's like you've been herbed.
And if they were very well stocked, you could have like 6 copies of Going Places just right up front, just like that. Easily his second best selling album of the TJB. I think the
Herb Alpert movie. I got some catching up to do.
Whipped Cream, Going Places, and Sounds Like. That's your triumvirate right there. If that's all you had, you'd be happy. Really great selections on those.
I love documentaries. I got some catching up to do.
This is the LP version of Radiwina Akonkoluku, circa 2007. Wow, they had the original vibe player who is now actually off doing other things. Great selections on this. Still sounds good. I think they were not that crazy about the pressing on this. So that's why they came up with the White Tiki 7 in I-5 pressing.
You have that one in like an extra sleeve.
Oh yeah, there's like this big bonus like cover on this thing. 500 copies only, 100% virgin, onating, blah, 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 blah. But that was like, they had to do that because they weren't satisfied with the record sound. Anyway. And then finally, this is one that found somewhere and I was like, yeah, I'll pick that up. Tahiti Island of Paradise, recorded around the same time as the Beauty and the Bounty movie when they were shooting in Tahiti. And they got like just very traditional sounding stuff, not even Hapa Holi. It's well recorded in stereo, and they're plugging the actual soundtrack to Mutiny, and etc. So it's fun to hear stuff that is actual island sounds, not designed to be played in cafes in Hawaii or at luau's for the tourists. This is just like what people are playing. So that's fun.
Devin misses the record store too.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had the whipped cream album too.
Oh
when
yeah,
I was a kid.
got a few of those.
Your mom had it too.
Absolutely in the house.
Yeah.
Had a good monocopy of that. Got a lot.
I don't think you could actually. I don't think it was allowed to not have it.
You had to have it. You had to have it. And if you're, a young man in the house and you see that record cover and you get to a certain age, you're like, wow, a little racy. Although she is not actually covered in whipped cream. She is literally covered in shaving cream. And if you look closely, that white stuff that you put around the Christmas tree at Christmas.
Don't ruin it for people.
You can't put whipped cream on somebody under hot lights and expect that's going to last. So we know the fantasy.
He goes on and says, fun fact, every time I find a copy of whipped cream and other delights, I buy it. I have dozens. He was buying them a lot, too, for a while. I was like, okay, this is a small house.
Hey, it's fun having a million of them. You can give them away. I was doing that for a while with Inagana DeVita because I kept finding them. And I had a lot, but ultimately it was nowhere near the number of copies that you have of whipped cream. And I haven't found a copy of that in the wild in ages. A very long time.
I feel like you could do something, you could paper a wall with the covers or something.
There is a record store that I believe was in North Carolina which did that on their record wall.
With whipped cream?
With whipped cream.
Oh my gosh. It's not even an original idea, apparently.
Got a picture of this, and if you look very carefully, you'll see that in the center of all this are the parodies of whipped cream.
Oh, well, we have some of those
hilarious. Clam Dip and Other Lights.
Yep.
Actually, we do not own Clam Dip. That's...
there's the other one, the one with the older ladies on it.
Yeah, that's Frivolous Five, Sour Cream and Other Lights. There is is it Hugo Montenegro doing like a tribute to, which is a real takeoff of the Herb Alpert style cover.
Baja Marimba Band is the new whipped cream. Yeah, we do need a show about Herb Alpert.
Well, I do think that Herb did a brilliant thing by basically signing on to his own label, his major competition. I mean, he's just like, who sounds like me? Oh, you guys. Boom, done. Truth be told, Julius Wechter was playing Vibes on the TJB records.
But it's not like he suppressed them.
No, he didn't know this. No, it was a total offshoot of the TJB.
Yep.
The Tijuana Brass did not exist as a combo. Total studio thing. After a few years, they have so many hits. They scored really big with that song that was in the gum commercial, Mexican Shuffle. Yeah. Suddenly, it's like you have to tour. Well, I don't have a band that tours. So he forms a band that tours. And then it's like all those other groups. And it's like Paul Revere and the Raiders in that period where there's a band that plays in the studio and then a band that tours.
Oh.
TGB that tours.
Disney for the win. I'm excited for you listening for the first time.
Oh,
actually.
Yeah, seriously. Don't mind at all. So, if you've never heard Whipped Cream, it's a classic selection of songs about food.
Re-Whipped is great, the remix album.
Oh, yeah, that's fun, too.
Yes.
I have heard some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people having fun with Herb. It's such a ubiquitous album, and what the hell, like suddenly all the DJs decided we need to do something with this now, because I would play that album any day of the week. It's a lot of fun. Definitely good memories from
Herb Alpert signed Sergio Mendes.
Yes, absolutely. Signed We5, Sergio Mendes. Who was I hearing the other day? Not Steve Alamo, but the other guy who had a couple hits in that period. Oh, forgetting these things. Very silly. His early signings, like even before the TJB had an album out, he had the Canadian Sweethearts actually had a couple albums out on A&M, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
Brazil 66.
Twins.
Interestingly enough, there was before 66, I think it was Atlantic Records, had Brazil 65. What the hell is that? Different singer, Vonda de Sa. Brazil 66, they have two lead gal singers. One of whom was Lonnie Hall, who ended up marrying Herb Alpert. So there we go.
Yep.
There's how that rolls
around. She tours with him now, I guess.
And
wait, did she die?
I think she's still around.
Oh, okay.
They have been touring as of a few years ago, and we heard about some gigs that would have cost you quite a bit of coin to see. And I think that's the kind of thing you do because people
it costs a lot of money to sit on a bar stool.
How is that?
I'm like, I
New York City gigs, man. But they also played like someplace in New Jersey that we probably should
Well,
have
I
done
would do
that.
that.
Would have done that.
I would have done that.
Their version of Fall on the Hill was the only hit version at the time. Beatles did not release that as a single. So, hey, they said, grab it. They their album...
Sounds like a drink.
Brazil 66 album, Look Around. Well worth your time.
Hello, Nancy.
Yeah.
Herb Alpert donated so much to UCLA's music department that they named the music school after him. I love that.
Well, he is a kid from
Jamie saw them.
Fairfax High School. He's like class of 58 with a lot of these other kids, actually, and was instrumental in like kind of making Los Angeles do a big music center at the time. There's a whole book about that. Heard about that on the radio. So, yeah, they had a bunch of hits in the late 60s, which were covers of other songs like Scarborough Fair. Great arrangement on Scarborough Fair.
Oh, yeah.
Well known to anybody who a lot of you listening in the 70s.
I love those covers. I mean, that's kind of my thing. I love like Holly Ridge Strings and stuff. I love the covers of like the easy listening covers of the rock and pop songs from the day.
Holly Ridge, Stu Phillips, who did a ton of. He was the studio guy at Capitol. Great arrangements, a lot of fun, lots of fun, and they got like 5 different albums of like the Beatles songbook, 3 different albums of the Beach Boys songbook, that kind of stuff. I think they have one of the Nat King Cole songbook. Oh, guess they didn't give him props, but they had an album. Damn it, didn't give him enough. The Beatles were current at the time. So,
they did Beach Boys too.
Yeah, they did like 3 different Beach Boys albums.
Yeah.
And of course they have an excellent Christmas record. So, well worth your time. So that was a big lineup of records, and now I'm dry.
I know, I was thinking too. Well, you went first, so do you have an idea? Do you want to do viral load? Do you want to...
I might work on that penicillin thing, but I might need to gather materials. So if you would proceed with what you're doing...
What do you need
I
for penicillin?
I can contemplate what I'm doing here. I'm going to need, let me see.
It's going to make penicillin.
Lemon,
before your eyes.
We have ginger behind me. I think we do. We're supposed to garnish with a lemon wheel. We'll use a lemon peel.
How do you spell penicillin? P-E-N...
C-I.
Okay, I got it.
There we go. This is created by Sam Ross, New York.
Mitch Miller cover LPs are worth picking. Oh my gosh.
I know, worth in terms of content, because they're not worth in terms of money. Nobody cares about Mitch anymore. But the covers are fun. The covers are really heavy laminated. He has got at least 3 Christmas albums, and they're pretty hokey, and boy, do you remember those well.
Eric says maybe something to make blue to make the drink look like Windex. I will be working blue a little later this evening. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean my content. I mean my drink. But,
I mean my drink will be working blue.
But
I'm just saying.
Stay tuned. I don't know if it'll be blue. I think it might be kind of purple, but we'll see.
Okay, we can do this.
You just signed a drink called the Third Valve. Trumpet. Well, even friend is a trumpet player who would probably agree with that.
You know, that's a great idea, Louis. That's fantastic.
Hi, Fabs. Good to see you.
And coming from an old 6-stringer there, it's like, no, that's very perceptive. What? Did you play trumpet in high school?
Old.
I said an old 6-stringer. I don't know. Louis is not old. Louis is of a certain age. He knows what is.
Keep digging your grave with your mouth.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I'm of a certain age too, so I can say that, right? Bingo. You've seen these things. But were you a trumpet player in high school? That's a very interesting reference there. Or do you just work with a lot of horns, which actually I have done myself. So let's see.
It's not sounding any better.
I am not a brass player, but I do play an instrument that is largely brass. So let's see. I need to get an ingredient. A proven ingredient from if you start mixing, I will be back shortly.
So you want me to start making my drink?
Yeah.
Well, I need a shaker.
So
hold on.
Anyway.
Okay. Well.
And since I've totally burned like some goodwill with Louis, I tell you what, I'll make up for that.
Anyway.
Go buy a single. There you go. We got a copy.
There you go.
It's called Pink Slip.
We do. Pull it out though.
It is 2 hot copy. I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say here. 2 hot surf songs that you will love.
Disney for the Win is asking which book you're using, by the way.
Oh, I'll tell you in a second. Let me actually finish promoing this business. We actually got a promo sticker too, which is cool. Sunnyside 5 is actually credited on this record with a great little Drum cover.
Don't drop that sticker.
I am not. I'm putting that right there. Boom. Heavy cardboard. I like that in a single.
He did play.
Guess what? It is translucent pink. Look at that color. Isn't that cool?
He did play trumpet in high school.
I did. I had that feeling. And I love how
And Peter played French horn.
The record label, Laguna Bay. Louis Bailey, Laguna Bay. Interesting. Actually got that little swirl, which I'm definitely recognizing from the Fontana label. Now that's a credit right there. Very cool stuff. Available. Could you drop the link?
Good attention to detail.
Is
That's street stories.
Fun. I love this. There's only 200 of them, so get them while you're at them. But if you have some left, and you may well, let people know, because I think our audience would really like this little thing.
So
I've given this a few spins, and I really like this thing. So there we go. And I'm glad that you dropped by tonight, because I was thinking, we got that record, and I want to throw some promo, but I want to make sure Louis is here. So
street stories. I hope all is great with you too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. So, hold on.
Holy golly, for God's sakes.
Okay.
I was alto sax and then tenor sax. I haven't picked up a tenor in a long time, but ultimately it's the sax sound I like. But I can still whip out the horn when I need to. And I'm playing an increasing amount of keyboards, and I'm not terrible at that. So that's something to say. Interestingly enough.
I don't suck.
I don't suck, but I've realized that took you lessons ages ago, and you know what? Some of that doesn't leave you, so that's a good thing.
Okay, so earlier in the evening, I made a drink called Pink Pill. So I decided...
What I'm going to do now.
For the heck of it.
Shucks.
I think I'm going to end up calling this one Purple Pill. Remember those commercials that, like, the website was Little Purple Pill?
Little Purple Pills.
.com.
Yep.
So I'm going to call this one Purple Pill.
And you're starting out with 2 ounces
of vodka.
Vodka. That's a place.
I'm using Rhodium from Rhode Island Spirits. Where we went to their tasting room in November, and it was really fun. So
it's very low key, right there on the river, old factory. Turns out it's a jewelry factory, and it is LGBT owned. And they have a really great slogan, but I don't think they've got their tagline anymore. The book I've been using, by the way, this is the newest Mr. Boston, official bar guide, etc. Recommended. This revision adds a ton of stuff and actually does update some formulas that were probably a little out of date. Although Mr. Boston has actually had a very competent Mai Tai in their book since the 60s. So that's something to be said, because a lot of books have a pretty strange looking Mai Tai. Anyway, I will be right back.
So far our Purple Pill is 2 ounces of vodka and a ½ ounce blue curacao. This cap is weird. It didn't want to come off, and it doesn't want to go back on. And it's a screw cap. So I'm going to leave it off. Okay. Except it did fall into my shaker, so I got to take it off eventually. Okay, and then I'm going to do a ½ ounce Campari. This is where I'm hoping it will turn purple. It might just still be blue, though, so we'll see. Oh, okay. It is turning purple. Hey. All right. Woohoo! Turning purple. And then I'm going to do 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice. Okay. It's a deep purple. sort of gray, but okay, yeah, direct message Lewis for details. Oh, thank you, Abra. Yeah, pretty blue. It's gonna be a nice color. I don't know how actually purple it's gonna be, but it will be a lovely steel gray. But I'm gonna still call it Purple Pill. Oh yeah, I've got a cap in here. I think we might put a cork in that bottle because that's ridiculous. Looks good. We'll see how it comes out. It's sort of, well, we'll find out together. What is that? I'm so curious as to what he brought over. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's see what color it is. Oh, it is a very sort of Deep indigo.
Get that Vogue indigo.
Deep indigo pill. Ooh, it's good though. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Like an Ajax commercial from the 70s.
Oh, wow. That's got a very specific bitter hit to it, too.
It really does.
The color,
I'm happy with it.
Color makes this look like a spot-on aviation.
It looks, okay, I'm looking at the video. It does kind of, it is purple enough to pass.
It does look, it's kind of a spot-on aviation, but I see what you mean. You're definitely getting purple going.
Well, it doesn't have gin.
A
and
very sour hit with this big bitter going on.
Oh, Gettysburg, thank you.
Cool.
Posting the link. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect.
Much appreciated. Should be easily available at your local bookstore if you had a local bookstore.
Maybe not that version.
This version is a few years old. It may well have been revised since then, but this actual revision should be pretty current because that's one. We have 3 versions of this book. My mother gave me one that was revised around 1990 maybe, and then I have the book that was in the house when I was a kid. That was the 1965 edition, and that's probably awfully close to anything else published by Mr. Boston in the 60s. But literally, that book went through printings almost every year for about 40 years. So there's lots of Bostons out there. It's kind of fascinating to take a look at different editions.
Eric, I've heard of Jackson Galaxy. I need to look into this. I will. Thank you. I'll do that. I have that. I got it.
Oh,
I need it too.
Check that out.
Yeah, I need to.
Glendora's
Okay,
last.
yeah. I have heard of Jackson Galaxy.
Glendora had a little inspiration there, and we got her in the studio, and I played a little...
Bluebeard.
I played
it.
all of the instruments, and she performed her vocal stylings for you, and Santa would have gone to the dump.
No, I think the last one is the cat, Marion.
Oh, the video. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, yeah. I was thinking about the music the music that she actually...
Marion the Evil Cat.
...got out in time for Christmas last year.
Marion the Evil Kitty.
If you're not familiar with her music video, please go take a look. Give it a little love.
Music videos.
Music videos.
She'll have enough for an album soon.
She is. She's been producing them. But yeah, the last episode where she's talking about a little encounter with a feline. Oh, big fun. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, the kitty guy. I haven't heard that name in a few years, but...
I don't think we actually have that per se. Do we have the honey liquor over there, or Baron Jaeger? The Krupnik of the Baron.
I think those are upstairs, actually.
I might need to take another walk.
Oh my god!
I'll take another sip.
Oh, there's
Wait,
no, it's not.
You'll have the Krupnik. Honey liqueur is not that difficult to find because, of course, there's a large selection of Polish honey liqueurs out there. We happen to have a bottle from a friend. I think it's kind of fun stuff to use. You can also use Baron Jaeger, of course, is very well known. And there are actually at least 1 and maybe 2 drinks among the Jeff Berry books that use Baron Jaeger. In case you're thinking, what in the world am I ever going to do with this? You can make a couple of tropical drinks. That's kind of fun. So... I think you're right, and I think they're all upstairs. Well, I tell you what. Oh, the cat whisperer. Oh, yeah, some cats need a whisperer. I remember that.
That cat needed more than a whisperer.
There was that dog whisperer on, what was it, HGTV or whatever, who would drive around and I believe...
I know, that wasn't the dog whisperer. Was a guy, Carlos someone.
Who was the gal who would drive around and she was dressed like...
Victoria.
Emma Peel driving around in a Jag. Like, I'm gonna teach your dog some discipline. She did. So...
Yeah, she wasn't the dog whisperer. It
was more of the dog whip actually, but she didn't beat them.
What was that show called?
She demonstrated.
I forget what that show was called, but yeah.
That was a kind of a fun show. I'll be right back again. 46th version of Old Mr. Boston.
Oh my gosh, that's fun.
You know, when you hear things like, Trader Vic invented the Mai Tai in 1944. Check the 46th Mr. Boston. No Mai Tai, but you know what is in there? Zombie. Because that got a lot of press. But the Mai Tai by the 60s definitely got in the guide.
Cesar Millan, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. Not Carlos at all.
Not Carlos.
Caesar.
Caesar. Okay.
The Dominatrix Dog Trainer. Yes, yeah. What was that show called? It's Me or the Dog or something like that. I forgot. But I loved her though because they moved out, but we had these people living next door who had these dogs that were scary. And we always thought she really needed to come over here. Yeah, it's Me or the Dog, right? I like that show. Cesar Millan. Yeah. Found it?
Found it. Using the Bernier. Okay. So this is calling itself Penicillin. Let me read this off. And
it's Me or the Dog. That's so funny.
It's Me or the Dog.
Yeah, remember?
I remember some
I did remember it.
Some very ill-behaved canines. But you know what? It's because all these people buy like a work dog or a Great Dane, and the Dane is just like crawling the walls because he's like, I need to exercise all the time.
They're bored.
So you take them out, throw the boomerang around or throw the ball around. The dog like gets completely tired, comes in, and is just like out like a light.
Yep.
That's how you do it. Work the dog. Pretty good for you too.
Yep.
So Penicillin was created by Sam Ross in New York City. This calls for a very strange measure of 1 3/4 ounces of Scotch whiskey. Okay.
Okay.
This calls for an old-fashioned glass. I did that, and you know what? I think I want to use a cocktail glass on this. So we're going to shake and strain. So 1 3/4 Scotch. We happen to have Scotch in a fancy bottle here. I had my hand on it. What do I do with it?
It's right here.
It's right there. There we go, folks. And it just says Scotch. This is what you put your like cheap Scotch in. Actually, this is Johnny Walker Black. So nice. Let's
I think it's the only blended Scotch we had.
So, we happen to have Valentine now.
No, but okay. But when I put that in there, because I did that before
the only blend.
Yeah.
We have a few bottles of Scotch kicking around here.
I guess we're not drinking a lot of Scotch.
We don't put down
It's not
too
usually
much
what I reach
Scotch.
for, honestly.
A lot of Scotch does not mix well. All that single malt stuff is like just give me 2 fingers in a glass, not behaving.
Oh, Gettysburg Map! You should purchase the book. Do it.
Purchase which one?
The 46 Mr. Boston.
Oh, well, if you're so inclined,
That's sweet.
I'd be interested to ask you a few questions about that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I don't want to borrow it. That's kind of rude. You just bought it, right? But I'd be interested to ask you, hey, is this in there?
I haven't bought it yet, but...
Yeah, you know. But if you're I'm interested to see what it looks like, because I don't have any really, really old copies of beyond the 60s. So I'm going to measure out, that should be about 3/4.
No.
No,
That's
you know
like,
what?
that's
That was
more
1
like-
1/2, and this is more like 2 ounces. I'm going to pour a little bit back here.
Oh.
There we go. That is a 1/4 ounce. Boom. 1 3/4
Okay.
on the blended
Back
Scotch.
in business.
A nice blended Scotch is good. Happen to have a new bottle of Valentine over there. I think that would work nicely. We had a Johnny Walker. Well, yeah. No question with that. Not going to question the Walker.
Question
3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. Happen to have lemon juice right here.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever had this.
I don't think I've made this.
Penicillin.
Penicillin. This sounds like
I expected something
a
else.
lot like Good for What Ails Yes. And 1/2 ounce of honey syrup. I could make honey syrup, but I didn't, so I'm just going to use honey liqueur. Happen to have Bernier, advertised as Honig liqueur. Well, that's exactly what it is. Honey liqueur.
Honig?
Honig liqueur. And give myself, that's a good 1/2 ounce of this stuff there. Boom. 1/2 ounce of ginger liquor. Yes, we've got a good ginger liquor right here. There we go. 67. Oh, fun.
Lisa, I think I've seen pictures. So sweet. Josie. Oh, Daniel has Mr. Boston 1967. What year's one we have?
65.
Okay.
That's right. I bet those are almost identical books.
Probably.
But
it's great.
But I wonder if they decided to revise it and add some new stuff. Hey, that's fun. 1/2 ounce of ginger liquor.
Oh.
Liqueur, actually. We're using the Putney Mountain Winery Simply Ginger. Very nice stuff.
We should have bought more of that when we were in New Hampshire.
We should have.
That was dumb.
And now we are unlikely to find it locally, but if we looked around...
We can get Barrows.
We can get Barrows, which is also excellent. So there we go.
So far I've got the scotch, the honey, the ginger, and the lemon.
Okay,
Have I missed anything?
So 1 3/4 on the scotch, 3/4 on the fresh lemon juice, 1/2 ounce honey syrup. I used honey liqueur, and 1/2 ounce of ginger liqueur. You're going to shake and strain this into a cocktail glass.
Okay.
We're not done yet. Not in the woods yet, but we're getting there.
I used the other chilled glass.
You used the other chilled glass?
I did.
Oh, I see. So
Sorry.
I should have had a chilled glass.
Sorry.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to...
Hi, Joe. Good to see you.
Hello, hello. I'm making penicillin, Joe, because we need some medicine.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Let that rest for a second.
Weimaraner. What? I don't know what kind of dog this was. The one that was troubled. I felt bad because, the dog was clearly troubled.
Which dog are we talking about?
Next door to us. Well, it moved.
There was a pit bull and there was a mastiff.
It was the mastiff. It wasn't the pit bull.
Was really
I don't like it.
Friggin'.
I don't like it when people just assume pit bulls are mean because many pit bulls are wonderful. So
they're very protective of owners.
So I want to say the pit bull was
the idea that you shouldn't go messing with the pit bull that somebody else. Yeah, that's very true.
The pit bull was sweet,
but
though.
they're known to be very affectionate dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The mastiff is the guard dog, and this one was freaking out all the time.
But I think it had a troubled past.
You might think so, because if you saw the pit bull solo, the dog was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Not a problem. But when the mastiff went off, that pit bull would go off. So I'm going to strain this into something with a little markings there. First aid.
For medicinal purposes.
Oh, wait,
so.
I already got one of these. Mm-hmm. For medicinal purposes only. Here we go.
I'm eager to try penicillin.
That fills the glass nicely. And the last thing you're supposed to do is float a 1/4 ounce of some smoky scotch on top.
Oh.
So I got the blended scotch. Let's grab some smoky scotch. This asks for something very smoky.
Are we sure this is penicillin?
Like an Islay. We happen to have 2 Islays, and one of them has a broken cork.
Float how much?
So 1/4 ounce. So I can't actually access it. So the one I can access is the Kalila.
And it said smoky scotch?
A very smoky scotch, like an Islay. Yeah, Islay scotches are known to be smoky, so there we go. I'm going to get myself what I think is a 1/4 ounce. Pour slowly. There we go. 1/4 ounce of stuff. This is substantially punchier than the blended, of course. I'm not saying that single malts are superior. They are a different beast. That's it. They also don't.
Joe's making tomato sauce in his Instant Pot.
Hey, isn't that fun?
Josie's sitting on the TV right above Kelly's head. When she heard her name, she looked around. Hi, Josie.
Hi, Josie. Hey there.
I love that.
Let's float this on top by doing the classic stunt on the back of the spoon. And we have floated. This calls for a lemon wheel.
I
didn't make any lemon wheels.
I bought him that glass for some occasion, like before we bought this house. So probably about 20 years ago.
Easily 20 years. I don't use it too much.
Now I'm like getting paranoid because I don't
use it too much, so I haven't managed to break it. I hate when I break glassware. I'm going to add a twist and just express that onto the top of the glass.
Adding twists to my drinks tonight, shouldn't I?
And you know something? I'm going to try something fun.
Do that too.
I'm going to try something fun and see if this works on camera. This would be good.
All right. I forgot we had twists. I didn't peel the lemons this week. Oh, I think I know what he's going to do. Special effects.
Special effects are fun.
I like a special effect.
The flaming lemon peel. Instead of had that strip there, you get a piece that's more like the size of about a quarter. And you get that in your fingers there, so you can give it a good squeeze. Get your light. Sometimes people use a match, whatever. And, oh, that's not doing anything at all. Totally fell apart.
It was a good try.
So much for special effects, folks. But you know what? I can try with one
Effects,
of these.
folks.
Effects, folks.
Special effects, folks.
Maybe I can make one of these guys work by actually expressing, because this peel actually really gave up on it. Lemon.
Oh, okay.
You want to hit the lemon oil right under the flame and hit that, and there you go. See that flame? Kind of fun.
Poof.
Poof, 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 kind of poof. And penicillin.
Oh, yeah, I was going to try this, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely getting that very smoky scotch on the top of there, on the nose.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
yes.
Can you smell that? If anything smells medicinal in this world for straight liquor, scotch will do it.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I would, but I do.
I do like good blended scotch in cocktails. There are some really nice things that you can make that work well. I think the addition of the lemon peel helps this out a lot. I think I prefer that to the lemon wheel, which it calls for. I know, I didn't invent the drink. Sam did. So I'll credit him that. You can do what you like. But this has 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon in it. This also sounds very medicinal, like the first thing I had. So there we go.
The funny thing is, since you floated the scotch on top, it smells completely different than it tastes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's like
it
less,
smells super smoky.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste
It doesn't
smoky.
taste super smoky.
Yeah.
There's less smoke going on in the actual substance of the drink. Well, there's a lot of things going on in the content of the drink. Pardon me.
Tang looking. Yep.
This is kind of tangeray, isn't it? Particularly in this light, because the redness of this light is making this look a little more orange. We did pioneer the tangeray years ago, which involved
Tangeray.
Tang and Tanqueray. And there was also the Mai Tai Musil. But the Tangeray was nowhere near as terrible as it sounds. It was slightly contrived, but I would say that if you're adventurous, give that a try sometime. That's kind of fun. Okay. So, now another one. What is the with these in Europe these days?
I don't know.
Is our...
I'm just busy moderating people.
Is it Errol who actually reads Cyrillic
oblivion.
here, who can tell me who in the world is talking us here? I can almost read that. I got to get up in my Cyrillic. It's a phonetic language. You can read it if you actually know the sound values.
I was feeling a little lonely.
I don't.
We hadn't been trolled this evening.
What do you know?
Yet.
A good troll 3 times last week.
I know.
Jeez, what is it with this thing?
It was like a record.
Implies that we're really reaching a larger audience. Well, okay. I guess I'm good with that. I'd rather talk to you folks. So,
That's okay.
Because,
they don't say anything.
I don't need to.
Your troll's back on YouTube. Gone.
As if by.
Hit the road, buddy.
Yeah. But I will tell you, both of these things are making me feel better. So I got to say, Bourbon Stone Sour, that's the go-to any day of the week. And bourbon, of course, during Prohibition, it was considered medicine. You could get it by prescription. Really? Yeah, you could. You couldn't get it as a drink, only as medicine.
Pew, pew, eliminate trolls. That's what I do.
Laser beams from the eyes. Near,
Pew.
Do I have,
what I do.
Do I have that sound effect? I do not have the pew sound effect. I have the... Yeah. Not quite the same.
I tried to make my eyes look... Oh, wait. It's Reisha.
Reisha Cucina. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Much appreciated.
Trolled into
Bolivian. Blue Boulevard Blues
They might be back.
are gone.
Whatever. I'm ready.
There we go.
I'm ready for them.
Another nod to Lewis, who I'm sure is very familiar with what I just said.
It doesn't bother me. So, whatever. Bring it.
When they have to go,
bring it.
What can I say but...
Exactly.
There you go. Speaking of your third valve, and boom. Well, I like this one a lot. Penicillin. Thank you. Sam Ross actually made a really good thing, and I will credit, because the inventor is credited there, it's not like you're trying to figure out who invented the martini. Oh, good luck with that. I think that's a lost cause. Got a good present for Christmas, which was the... Can I read that?
Oh, Errol says the P is an R in English.
Yes.
The Russian P. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the piece of pie symbol. So the actual P is an R symbol.
You need a bouncer, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell what they're saying. I have no idea. They all say the same. They all do some weird. I don't know what it is. So
strange.
Yeah, whatever.
Strange. The Oxford Companion to Spirits. I think it's wine and spirits or to spirits. which is actually edited by David
Happy
Wondrich.
anniversary, Joe.
Oh, hey!
Thank you. Thank you.
Traveling in Toledo!
Aw, and here we are again. I love it.
I was just looking at something from Toledo in our kitchen.
Yes.
Which comes from Tony Pacos. It's the bun. We got the bun when we were there. Pacos serves up a mean dog, man. And I'm thinking, like, you're driving around that section of Toledo and you're like, where is this place?
For medicinal purposes, yes.
But Pacos is cool. Great classic road food joint. Seriously. But for medicinal,
Hi, Pepper Tree.
Hey!
Good to see you.
Hey, Nani and Ha Cha Cha. So we started out this day.
Disney for the Princess, when I heard that sound, I thought it was Dark Shadows for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That there is that.
Yep.
That sound effect, and of course it was the theme to Dark Shadows, which hit the top 40 in 1969. This whole album, it's got the two male leads on it. They're looking very creepy. That was a daily soap. Wow, there was like a ton of them out there in black and white originally.
Strictly for medicinal purposes.
Yes. Well, that's what your midden aunt would be having. Like, I've just got Mrs. McCready's surgical bruise. Just a little touch for medicinal purposes.
Nurse McCready's surgical bruise tonic.
Yeah. Well, only the finest in this house.
And if you get that reference.
Boom, we've just passed Christmas.
Yep.
And there we go. Actually, your maiden aunt was probably drinking Madeira. That's what you would do. Drink a fortified wine.
Oh, the Mr. T generator. Yeah, I think everyone needs the Mr. T generator.
Oh, yeah. I think we kind of stowed
it's
that.
Downstairs.
I got to go find that later.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is.
I got to go find that because tea is awesome. Shut up, fool. Shut up, fool. There are many times in your life where you'll be finding people who you really just want to say, shut up, fool, to. And you'd rather have Mr. T say it.
I gotta see if it's just online.
We can drop the line on this one. Meditating mushrooms. McPhee has done it again. Happy axolotls. Ah.
Oh, the axolotls are cute.
They are. They're kind of an odd-looking little fellow. Sort of a salamander.
Hold on.
Possum and a peanut. Oh, McPhee just does everything that you did not realize that you needed to own until you found it there, and now you do. So.
I don't think they have it right now.
Oh man!
No.
Oh shucks, they're on a Mr. T. I could play you mine, but that's a shame. I tell you.
Oh, I love that everyone's talking amongst themselves.
Please. I'm just noticing this thing of big Disney fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
definitely big Disney
among this
fans.
crowd. You've got a lot of, and what can I say? At this point in my life, I have been to Disneyland.
Oh, Nick's
something
Cafe
like
in
8
Toledo.
times.
We got to go back to Toledo.
Oh, now we're
I was just thinking that too because I saw the
Awesome.
same thing he saw in the kitchen because I just redid some stuff in the kitchen.
A little rearranging
so,
to make more space,
so
which
suddenly it's
makes
more
things work
prominent.
better.
So
Yeah.
we got to get back to Toledo.
Go back to Toledo,
Road trip.
Sort of like when we're driving towards Chi-Town there, CHIC, chic. Then you're driving past Toledo. You might as well stop as long as there's a great greasy spoon, and apparently there are 2 or 3. So.
Oh. Gettysburg, man, we can make that happen. I mean, like.
Well, I kind of did.
We're supposed to.
I did that recently, and it was so freaking cold out there that I lit the chimenea.
Grilling in the snow. Okay, Gettysburg Nam is
posterior would
requesting
not
another
freeze.
grilling in the snow video. We can do that,
But,
and I think we can do it better. So I'm just going to look.
But you know what? It's going to continue to be
At the
cold.
weather.
We're going to get more precipitation, and when that happens,
We're
I will
getting
grab my
snow.
shovel. and
Oh.
Moving
Our
in now.
forecast says snow right now. I guess it's snowing.
So I think we're about to transition to grilling in the snow.
But it says
now when I go out back and
snow
light up the grill.
likely to end around 11:30.
Oh well, we'll get there.
Anyway,
But thank you. That was a fun video to put
that
together,
was super fun.
and that was off of the original Grilling in the Snow when it was just a filmed video that
And
is
I'm looking at
taped content, not live. And that was a hell of a lot of fun because we had like 12 inches of snow on top of the grill. That was the old grill too.
We're supposed to get snow again.
Soon enough.
Oh wait, hold on.
Hold the bus.
Hold the bus. Monday. We're
Monday.
supposed to get snow.
Who knows? We could do this sooner than we think.
Oh, I just got a really good idea.
Got gas as far as I know.
I got a really good idea. Okay, so Monday, snow. All right, look for it soon.
Heat wave scorches Argentina. I don't want to hear heat waves in the southern hemisphere.
It's all ads on there.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
Wait,
but you know what? Argentina does not exactly need a heat wave. They just need very moderate temperatures. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, you're talking amongst yourselves, and I love it.
Please. Interestingly enough, being an East Coast guy, I've been to Disney World once. A long time ago.
I've been to Disney World once too.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah, opera. You're further upstate than we are, but yeah.
Yep, getting nailed.
Yeah, but we're all gonna get it on Snow Day Cocktail Hour. Yes, Sherry.
Hey,
I can get behind a cocktail hour on Monday.
If we get snowed in and socked in, and that's that, and I'm just gonna have to go out there and shovel this, fill in the blank, then oh shucks, I could go for a snow day.
The last two Monday nights, I had a heavy duty work thing. I'm just going to say that. I had a heavy duty work thing, which went great, but
it worked very well.
I didn't get to swill the cocktails on Monday, but this coming Monday, I don't. So, woohoo! Anyway.
So, hey. I'm still enjoying the Penicillin, which, as you can see from the little red cross over here, is for medicinal purposes.
Oh, night, Peter. I think the last one was burgers, right?
I believe we did burgers.
I thought it was burgers.
I remember when the very first time we did it, it might have been chicken.
Like everyone in the Northeast, I think, is getting it.
Sucking it to you.
Yeah.
Sucking to you. Boyle.
Oh, Pepper Tree, did you go to I know you were... Did you go to the Grand Californian?
Did you go to the Californian?
The bar there. What was it? The Hearthstone?
Something like
the Hearthstone. Because I think you were staying at the Grand Californian, right?
We actually had been to that bar.
Am I high? I think you were staying.
I got
Am I high? No, I think you were staying at the Grand Californian.
No,
but that bar was...
You're not. But
Hearthstone?
We both got a little high at that bar.
Yeah,
that's very cool. I really enjoyed that bar a lot because it was very Adirondack and clubby.
Amazing.
I just thought this is cool. I really liked that whole like big club chairs thing, and I was like, I'd like a Manhattan cocktail, and they will do like a killer Manhattan at Disney. It's so great. A lot of fun. The drinks
were so good.
And of course, Sam's. Well, I say no more.
Trader Sam's is amazing.
Yeah, I just have one thing to say about Sam's. Get there early because man, seating is limited. Yeah. But what a great little place. Oh, get there, order some food, and you can always, if you're like totally blocked out. Oh, I got there too late. At Disneyland, you can eat around the corner at the
Hearthstone
at the cafe. And get
we
some
had
drinks
at the Hearthstone a couple of times.
Yep.
That place, that was nice. The drinks there were really solid. Good. Yeah.
One of my favorite types of bars is that sort of explorers club, cushy chairs, clubby bar.
Laurie Anderson's Hotel Hot Dogs. I love Laurie Anderson. What?
Now that we got to think about,
Fraser on glasses like they do for the Ice Hotel.
Well, you can buy the molds to make like a shot glass that you just freeze and do. And we actually attended an event once where they made like 100 of those. And we're just passing out shots of stuff. I think shots of rum in frozen glasses, frozen shot glasses. That was in Florida, and they melted pretty fast. So you better put that down quickly, folks.
Yeah, but I think you can just do it outside.
You do it outside.
Yeah.
Right now, you could put a tray of water outside, and it would freeze into a fantastic, huge block of water, a block of ice. So yeah. All
right. Amy, yes, you joined late, but we saw her Christmas show once too.
Yes,
Ronnie.
we did.
Okay, we got to do a Ronnie drink. All
right. Some time ago during this broadcast, we name checked that we had seen this show. If Joe is still watching, it was your ticket that took us there. That was awesome. I hope you got to see her the next year because, wow, that was an annual event for a long time at BB
Laurie Anderson as in Big Science.
Yes.
Yes.
That Laurie Anderson, Laurie Anderson, who was actually hooked up with Lou Reed for several years. Mm-hmm. Funny stuff. Lou Reed, who is no longer with us, but
she's still with us.
She's still kicking.
Wait, hold on. Earl says, I have a coworker from Chicago. She brought her snowblower. Not sure why they brought it. Good reason they're not sold in Tulsa.
Yeah, I think in Tulsa, the general weather patterns indicate that you probably want to buy a storm cellar instead. of a snowblower as your first line of defense.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But you never know what's going to whack you like that. I mean, we've seen snow in North Texas. It gets that way.
Our new neighbor bought a snowblower when he bought the house, and has he used it yet? Like, we haven't had enough snow to
really blow it.
Snowblower.
No,
really,
it was just a couple inches. He was out there with a shovel. But when we get socked down, he's going to whip that out. Yeah.
All right, Ronnie Spector. Yeah, that was...
Yeah, we could do a Ronnie. I'm trying to think of what she would do. What would be a Ronnie Spector?
I didn't know until we were on this broadcast that she passed away, but we did see her Christmas show at B.B. King's in New York City.
We've seen, at this point, I believe, 2 or 3 shows there, and one of the other ones was the Cowsills.
The Cowsills, yeah.
And if that is not rocking your boat as rockers, wow, you really should see these folks. I mean, they are down to 3 Cowsills by this point, which is the very unfortunate march of time. But wow, are they great. They are just fantastic.
Oh, Disney for the win. I know what you mean. Yeah, you find your tribe. No. True on the storm cellar.
Yeah, seriously. It's what you think of with, where you're watching Wizard of Oz with Dorothy in Kansas. It's like, what you need here is like a place to hide. It's just like, that's the thing. We didn't expect snow, but there's that corridor there where you might expect snow and tornadoes and heat waves and blasting cold and who knows what. And you think, why
I feel like we've had all of
does this part of the country get beaten down so hard?
But I feel like we've had all of that.
We haven't actually seen tornadoes.
Not
cross
tornadoes,
fingers.
but but there have been tornadoes around us where there never were before.
There were tornadoes. Several years ago in Brooklyn, there was a tornado took a roof off. What the hell? That's craziness. Oh, thank you.
You're still laughing about the cat at Clandora. Oh, yeah. Clandora really has a knack for attracting trouble.
She actually will explore all options because she's a woman in love. Or she's a woman who should be in love. And of course, her true love, her actual true love, one of her several husbands, of course, her favorite husband, left us under mysterious circumstances. Perhaps not that mysterious,
Frankie.
but terrible, terrible circumstances.
Her dead hubby, Frankie.
And it hurts the heart. But he
died in a mysterious crane accident. Yeah. When a crane fell on him that should not have fallen on him. At
a New York construction site. If you've ever worked on a New York construction site, you might not find this too mysterious, such an accident. Just saying. Jersey girls.
Or Glendora.
The
Cowsill, yeah.
They get happy tour. Oh,
Amy saw Lorraine Anderson in the raid.
Mermaid Parade. Oh, man. Well, that's
they were the king and queen of the Mermaid Parade. We've still never been to the Mermaid Parade.
I think we know about half a dozen people who have participated in the Mermaid Parade.
We know half a dozen people who go every year.
And just go as mermaids and away we go. Oh,
when we lived in the city, we didn't know about it. And then now that it's really, really not convenient, we know about it. So,
what do I want to see from the Cowsills? I want to see the remaining Cowsills who are all awesome get out there and say, we're just going to play one of our albums. And they'll say like, oh, Captain Sad, and just whip the entire album out. They'll go out and play their hits because people come see their hits. But their albums are really, really solid because they compose songs. And they were all fantastic musicians.
Thank you.
And if you watch the documentary, it is really, really sad because their father was just such a crumb. Oh, I'm being very polite there. Wow.
I feel like
he deep sixed the band.
That's kind of a theme.
It's kind of a theme
because you've got their father, you've got the Wilsons' father.
Murray Wilson was just a. I'm not going to say it, but you know what he was.
I know, like whatever you think about, like. I'm not saying rock and roll, but like Britney Spears' father. Like I feel like fathers just suck in rock and
roll. No, they're terrible
music.
people.
Like just fire your family and hire professionals.
If you listen to the
Disney for the win says, I have a theory that Glendora's first husband was a burnt con face. Okay. Well, you've given me a good idea, so...
I just got an impression of a Love Boat episode. I'm telling you.
Ow, Joe saw the Castles 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Well, we saw them once with you. And
okay.
that show was great. And I remember we both got albums signed after that. They were... Susan was very... She was shocked that I had a record in shrink wrap. She's like, this is still in there. My grandparents had this record. Somebody gave it to them because they were Newport kids. My grandparents were in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. And somebody thought, you need this record. Yeah, they played it once. I don't think they really cared. But I saw the record and I was listening. And I'm like, this record is really solid. It's just got such great songs and harmonies. They do fantastic covers. And live, of course, they do the borrow hit. What do? Well, you got a band like the Mamas and the Papas. Well, Mamas and the Papas, I believe at this point, 3/4 of them are no longer with us. So you don't have much in the way of Mamas and Papas. They're not using the song.
Michelle's hanging on.
Michelle's hanging on. You do not have somebody to play those songs. So who could possibly do those harmonies? How about the Cowsills? So they borrow a hit. And, they do that well. They do a fantastic Monday. So, hey, hello, howdy, my friends.
See you.
Boom, 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 boom. Happy together. Oh, with the Turtles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Turtles can finally call themselves the Turtles again. But we know it's Flo and Eddie.
Oh, no. Was that like a legal thing?
Oh, it was a legal thing.
Oh, jeez.
The record label owned their name. They couldn't actually be their actual names. So Mark and Howard could not be Mark and Howard for like 20 years.
Jeez.
But so they became...
What do they call themselves?
They call themselves the Fluorescent Leech and Eddie.
Flo and Eddie.
Flo and Eddie.
Okay.
And then of course, they got the call from Frank Zappa. Can you join my band? Yeah, sure. Boom. And suddenly he had this whole band where he could play Frank Zappa music.
I know Flo and Eddie.
And throw in a big hit, and they could play Happy Together.
Let's put that together.
You can actually hear that on that Fillmore album, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Unfiring the Family. Oh, jeez. Mine has a friends with family appointment only. Eric says, Laurie Anderson made a big impact in my life. Oh,
I tell you,
I love Laurie Anderson.
She's a lot of fun.
Although Laurie Impact, she could go by that.
Laurie Impact, that's like her punk rock name, And she, of course, was a very early video pioneer and was doing a lot with synths and a lot with sequencing and a lot with unusual instruments. And a lot with visual, and like her stage shows have all of this stuff going on. It's at the same era as the Talking Heads doing a lot of that same kind of stuff. So like that works well. She was one of those like New York downtown musicians who was doing it very, very well. Yeah, definitely got to say. I name checked James Chance earlier. He was doing it in a much more abrasive way. I kind of like James Chance a lot, but not for the faint of heart.
Would Clandora and Lenny Bruce make a good couple? I feel like they would both be like,
Well, I'm thinking of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, hanging with Lenny Bruce, and she's like, he's at one point talking about hey, you want to come in? She's like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Exactly.
I mean, Lenny Lenny has played on the show is well done. Very well done. Yeah, it's really funny.
The show is well done.
It's
I'm
the
super
period
excited
detail
for the new
is good.
season.
Would very much like to see it.
Anyway.
You could, and I they were right back to Frank Zappa. The very last show that Lenny played was the opening band was the Mothers of Invention. So, 1966, baby. Oh yeah, they did do some CSN. Yeah, I think they do that with more impact.
Oh,
than CSN,
Eric, okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
She does a series of talks on YouTube. Okay. I saw an interview with her somewhere recently that was great.
She's just one of those
Cynthia, hi.
Who kicks around like that.
A sunny day and you're confused. It was sunny here too, but it's freezing.
We've had a lot of sun to the point where if you stand in the sun in the window, then it's really warm. But if you open the window, oh boy. You could literally put an ice cube tray outside, and half an hour later, you got ice.
I thought about that. I filled an ice cube tray today, and I thought, maybe I should just put it outside. But
yeah. It would
may
certainly
freeze
work.
Faster than the freezer.
We have certainly done that for years with the room out there because it's not insulated, and you can keep your beer out there when it's cold.
Oh, Live from Off Center. I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Good to see you.
Wow, we got a lot of the middle of the country tuning in tonight. I'm so glad to see you and Tim.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm so excited. It is coming back. It's coming back in February.
Yep.
So, yeah, super excited.
They took a pause because they finished production like right before.
That's right there with Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart.
Hey, Snoopy.
Clandora, Lenny Bruce, Snoop Dogg, Stewart. Yeah.
Snoopy and Martha together again. Anyway.
Snoopy.
Hey, so anyway, Snoopy, what is in your pipe? Oh, you don't want to know what's in my pipe. Yeah.
Snoopy. All right, we got to do a... Hi, Elizabeth. We got to do a... We got to do a...
We do a Ronnie Spector cocktail.
Yes. What
goes in a Ronnie Spector cocktail? I'm trying to think of like what she would do. Well, I think she was a kid from the Bronx or Brooklyn. Somebody will illuminate me on that, but she's a New York kid, and the Ronettes had that look. I believe that the Stearns actually called that there was a particular look.
I'm gonna go grab the book.
Yeah,
Hold on.
From 60s people.
Grabbing the book.
And I'm kind of forgetting what they call that, but it's a tough gal look. It reminds me a lot of when people describe the Shangri-Las. This was 3 kids who went to high school in Queens, and when they went on tour, they were like pound. You know, they were just no BS. But they at different points, their backing band was like the Iguanas, who were Iggy Pop's first band, that kind of stuff. At one point, I think it was the McCoys, and they would play tricks on them and stuff like that. So like they were tough gals. And I'm trying to think of like what they...
Young Vulgarians.
The Young Vulgarians. And they have a picture of a gal in this book who looks like a Ronette with this massive hair.
Yes.
And she's doing her nails, that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to call the Ronettes vulgar. They were actually very cultured looking.
No, it was
fabulous.
No, they describe all this with love. they really do. Yeah.
It's just this particular perspective of like, we don't take any BS. And there's a picture of Ronnie. Hello. So there you go. But this is the
Young Vulgarians were street-smart teenagers from hard-scrabble neighborhoods such as South Philadelphia and the Bronx. In the early 60s, they created a spectacular style.
We're thinking about all of that Philly sound that happened in that period. I'm thinking of Jerry Blavat, that kind of guy. And like all of these songs that came out of there, and that went well into the 70s with that Philly soul sound.
The Snoop Dogg comment on this. Aww. Oh yeah. Yeah, need Mrs. Maisel. Yes. Oh please. God, yeah, yep. Tony Shalhoub had COVID last year. Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Let's see here. Did I actually bring over the other one of those? No, I don't think I did. Let's get that.
Oh jeez. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm catching up. Gotta catch up. Monk gets COVID video he did with the Monk cast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta look that up. All right, so. Aw. Fashion fix for me. Oh, okay. I'm super excited about it.
It's cool.
I'm super excited. Mrs. Maisel, I'm referring to. Yeah, anyway, I'm trying to follow a bunch of discussions, so.
I'm kind of thinking that a drink for Ronnie Spector should actually involve the streets of New York, and we actually have Manhattan and Brooklyn happening right here.
Yes.
On this glass.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm thinking rocks glass.
All right.
And I'm kind of thinking that Ronnie would be like 2 fingers of stuff and a glass with a big rock. And I think I have a big rock right here. So I can just grab that and drop it in. Bang. So, 1 large, don't mess around ice cube.
So do we have a name for this drink yet or no?
We don't.
All right.
Although it might have been called Be My Baby. I don't know.
Oh, my baby.
It could be the thing. What do you think Ronnie's drinking in New York? What do you say? Something tough
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, contemplate.
All right.
I'm kind of thinking that you would actually have something kind of tough. I think that a lemon peel would not be out of place. You know, a little bit of class on top of your drink. Cherry, maybe. I don't know. We got. I think that.
Cherry's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. And the sour cherry cordial is back here.
Right here.
So, all right. I like Be My Baby.
Glass.
We're gonna call this Be My Baby.
There we go. I know it's like really sort of the ultimate run-it song. It is.
Well, yeah, which is why we're calling it Be My Baby.
On the daily playlist in the Brian Wilson household, it's like every single day he would play this song.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe he just couldn't believe why he didn't write that song, so he kept going. But you start yourself with a nice, solid, double old-fashioned glass. Real heavy base is a great idea. If you happen to have a map of Manhattan and Brooklyn on that, well, that's a bonus.
We don't have any just blended whiskey, right? We don't have like a...
We might.
Non-bourbon,
We have a really nice blend.
We could do rye.
We could also do, what am I thinking? Not Canadian Club, but Crown Royal. That sounds like a great way to go.
On it.
That sounds like if you're in that kind of bar and you want something nice, you're asking for Crown Royal. So there we go. We're on to a roll. It comes in a
new bottle.
Fancy bag.
Still in the bag.
How about that?
Still in the bag.
Hey, just give me 2 fingers of Crown in a glass.
In the bag. Right.
There you go. Revealed. We'll actually put this aside very carefully.
Very carefully.
Yeah. Find the zip strip on this guy here. It has the Crown on the bottle. Fine Deluxe Canadian whiskey. This is a really nice blend.
It's Deluxe.
Some people
Did
really
you say
kind of.
Deluxe?
I said Deluxe. I think that some people kind of slag off Crown because it's not like the single malt kind of stuff. It's a blended whiskey, but it is very carefully designed.
That cube is impressive.
Big cube. The big cube.
It's the big cube.
The big cube. Tell you. Get that off of there. Thank you very much. Go away. Right. How much do you think we need to have of the Crown?
Only 2 ounces, don't you?
Well, all right. Happen to have a good 2 ounce measure right here.
2 ounces.
Mm-hmm. Half a gill. Again. Haven't had this in a while.
Oh, jeez.
It's a nice blend.
Well, if he wasn't feeling well this morning, he is now.
And we'll feel better tomorrow, too. So, there we go. That gets nice and cold as we go and contemplate what else must go into Be My Baby.
I think the sour cherry.
Sour cherry's a way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Half ounce.
Half ounce. Coming your way?
If not more.
Have a great half ounce measure right here.
All right, half ounce sour cherry.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, the wheels are turning. No.
We probably need some sour in there, don't we?
We do, but I'm not done. I'm not done. Pardon me.
Contemplating. Let's
Wheels
see
are
here.
turning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, Philly jazz. No, that's a fun idea too. There too. I think there's
Okay.
a lot of really classic Philly jazz guys. Oh yeah. Choked on my champagne. Oh.
Okay, so
Definitely, Dan. Yeah, random is kind of the way the world about here from time to time. What do we have?
we need some. You know what? Instead of this, let's do some coffee liqueur.
Oh yeah, we actually have that grind in there. It's right in front actually. If you're looking for that, it's right next to the Frangelico.
Oh,
yep.
It's the label's not facing outward.
Subtle.
All right.
Subtle plans.
So yeah, let's do some
grind espresso shot.
So
not just coffee.
Let's do
a real heavy coffee hit.
Let's do a half ounce of that.
Half ounce of this baby. Cherry and coffee together again. Starts to sound like a Philly breakfast, to tell you the truth.
And then we're gonna do an. Oh God, I hope there's enough. Do as much as you've got of the lemon.
All right, I'm going to start with half and see where I get to. I'm very much getting very nearly a half ounce of this stuff.
We're going to say a half ounce then.
We'll call that correct. And boom.
Okay. And then we need bitters.
Yeah.
Well, no, we do. Cocoa
yes, we
bitters.
Do. Cocoa bitters. Oh, a little chocolate there. No, isn't that kind of fun?
10 dashes.
10 dashes.
10 dashes.
There we go.
Trust me.
There we go. So far we have flavors of chocolate, coffee, cherry, and the base blended whiskey going on there. I think this boat deserves a twist. I think I have another nice twist happening here. I think I'm going to see...
Do we want a straw?
If I happen to still have my flame, I'll see if I can flame the twist. Because you know what? These gals were no nonsense.
All right.
I'll cut you. There we go.
Ugh.
Boom. Got some flame.
Poof.
Give it a twist. Toss it
Poof.
in. Give it a shake. Give it a shake. No nonsense here. What do we got? Be my baby.
Oh, that's great.
You know, I didn't think I'd be doing a tribute.
If I do say so, that is really good.
Didn't think I'd be doing a tribute to Ronnie Spector tonight.
I know.
I'm very sad to hear that I have to. But if I do, I'm glad that we've been inspired by Amy.
No. People are going to stop dying. Is that a pink lava tree I see?
Here? Oh, we have a lava lamp. Actually.
Oh, yeah. The lava lamp, yeah.
Lava lamp is definitely
We
operational.
do, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, may the Q be with you.
That has a lot of nice flavor notes, I gotta say.
This is really good.
I like that a lot. So
I
that's pretty easy to put together. You can definitely find yourself some Crown. You probably have a double old fashioned. You can find yourself a really big rock.
It needs a cherry. Lisa, you are correct.
Let's get a cherry, shall we?
I was
think we
thinking
can do
that too. So
let's find a nice spear and a cherry.
I was thinking that too. So if we were both thinking that.
Well, there we go.
All right.
Cherry and chocolate. We've got the cherry liqueur in there. We have access to an excellent cherry liqueur, which we recommend.
We got to keep the cherries handier.
I think that if you look carefully, you will probably find a nice local cherry liqueur.
I got it. Wow. That sugar just sealed that jar closed.
Pretty easily.
All right.
What can I say? So far I've had two things regarding themselves as cold medicine, and I feel a hell of a lot better. So I got to say that unless you are just not able to get out of bed, period, if you're kind of mobile but you don't feel that great, Bourbon Stone Sour will make you feel better.
For those of you just joining us, his test was negative.
I did test. We happen to have the tests. I checked it out. I'm not going to tell you what I tested for. You know. If I said so, I would get banned from these social pages because they can't take it. Yeah, well, shucks. The reality of it is that we're in it.
The reality is his test was negative.
On it. We're in it. Give that a good shake to distribute all the flavors.
All the grades are leaving us. I was just thinking that. It's
bang.
They need to stop doing it.
Cherry improves it. I've got cherry, coffee, the whiskey, a little bit of lemon essence going on there, and the chocolate. That kind of sounds like my...
That is good.
My gals from the Bronx, you know? That's it. I'm going to tell you.
That is good.
The blue lights. What do I have? Oh, you know what is behind me with the blue lights? Is actually white, but with these lights, it is looking very differently colored. These are actually sort of stems with little styrofoam balls, and they're actually white and kind of gray.
Oh, Gettysburg, ma'am. Yeah. These drinks need some medicinal bar snacks. Funny you should mention that.
We didn't have no bar snacks again, did we?
No, but I've been thinking about that, and I'm working on some bar snack ideas. So yeah. Future weeks, but
Future weeks.
I want to be able to make them here at the bar.
So
I do have a couple of good ideas.
Contemplate. We have comment here from Pepper Tree. Would we buy allspice dram or make our own?
Oh yeah, well he made it, but
I will put that this way. How quickly would you like to use allspice dram?
Right.
It does not mix up overnight. So if you're a little impatient, I would say find the St. Elizabeth, or there are other brands out there now. Buy yourself a bottle. I believe Bitterman's makes an allspice, and a larger bottle, as a matter of fact, which is actually a little bit of a better help.
St. Elizabeth.
Well, St. Elizabeth is in the tall, skinny. I think it's a 375. But I think that Bitterman's actually does an allspice bottle.
I know. I only know St. Elizabeth.
In a standard size bottle. So check that out. And if you're thinking, yeah, well, I've got some time, I can do this. It doesn't take more than a few months to get yourself to allspice dram. And I have never bought a bottle.
Yeah, the Be My Baby is good. It's really good.
You know something? This is awesome. Yeah, you're going to like this a lot.
I want to make one too.
This is really good. And the ingredients are not hard to find. There's nothing really esoteric.
We found them behind her car.
Well, we happen to have a bottle of Crown.
Anyway.
Not that unusual ingredient. Cherry liquor.
But I think
you might have that.
I don't think Crown is cool anymore. So I don't know if people buy it. But I mean, someone buys it because they still make it.
They still make a ton of Crown. And
but anyway, I don't know if that's like an old man Uncle Sid.
Crown is an old man shot.
Ingredient.
It's not an old man like well shot. It's an old man fancy shot. That's the top shelf liquor in an old man bar. So.
All right, you've inspired me. I'm gonna do bar snacks next week.
Got it.
But I want to do them at the bar.
Yeah. Well, you can figure that out.
I really do. Like
and anything that needs to be sort of like roasted up, we have a frying pan we can put right there, electric.
I know.
We can make that happen. So, I mean, we could even do a chafing dish. Oh boy, we have the feel for that.
We do.
Chafing dish next.
Several.
Fun stuff.
And, what do you call it? Not chafing dish.
We have the electric pan and we have the chafing.
No. What am I thinking? I don't remember.
Pardon me. Can't remember. So, in conclusion about the allspice, if you're interested to do it yourself and you don't
could
know
you substitute
what to
something else for the Crown? Yes, you totally could.
Find a really nice blended whiskey.
Yeah.
And the Crown is actually a blend of whiskeys, not a blend of whiskey and grain alcohol. Like a lot of stuff that's calling itself blended whiskey has been cut. Just find a blended whiskey that's just all whiskeys, and it'll be fine. It's like a blended scotch. You know, Johnny Walker is a bunch of scotches put together. No low proof stuff. So
clean it up for you. Oh, Toki. Yeah, Suntory Toki. That's one that's easily available.
Not that hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chivas.
J&B Scotch.
I can't say it without saying Chivas because we saw a play where they talked about the Chivas.
Not the Chivas.
Not the Chivas.
Blended like American whiskey, I think.
But honestly, I just kind of recommend getting the Crown. It's kind of the best. Or Seagram 7 Crown.
I think there
Although
are
people call
a
that
few
junk.
U.S. brands that are just always. All I can say is, of blends, I just like it to all be blended from what it says. If it was whiskey, it's all blended whiskey. It's not been cut with grain alcohol.
7 Crown is considered crap, but Cutty Sark Tam O'Shanter.
Okay, Cutty Sark 25. Well, that is
Yeah.
slightly priced up.
Yeah. Ballantines, that's what you bought.
I did buy the Ballantines.
Yeah.
That was actually
Maybe
nice.
the Toki is a famous grouse.
Most of these are blended scotch.
These are expensive though. Like, why would you buy these? Why would you even buy these? Most of these are really expensive. Like, why would you do that?
Well, at the end of the day, Johnny Walker does not sell a single malt product. It's all blended whiskey.
No, but what we're looking for blended.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Johnny Walker Blue is sort of like the king of the hill with that kind of stuff, and it's a very specific product.
I feel like Patty is kind of expensive.
It is? Well, that's a good question. That should not be that expensive.
Patty, famous grouse. I don't buy a lot of these, but we always just buy Crown Royal, but...
For a blended whiskey, go with the Crown.
Yeah, go with the Crown.
I don't know if Seagram 7 is blended from a selection of whiskeys.
It's all good to me, Errol. I know what you mean.
There you go.
I know what you mean, Earl. So much comedy. Oh, my grandfather loves Chivas.
Chivas.
You have to have the electric pan, but electric slide, waka waka.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie.
That was like when I was DJing at Ohana.
We put that on there because you have to put that on there. And as you find out when you want to look for the song, if you search on the electric slide, you won't find it.
Lisa says, so instead of the old man beer challenge, maybe we need to do the old man liquor. Yes. Yes, because I won't know.
Old man whiskey challenge. There you go.
I won't know.
Here's a shot of Seagram 7. And now you're going to compare that to Chivas.
After a few drinks, I can do the electric slide perfectly. Oh, God.
Look, there's some really nice blended whiskeys out there. But the term itself got a bad reputation because for a long time, blended whiskey meant we don't have enough good whiskey to make whiskey, so we're going to cut it. And that's what people got used to, and people drank for a long time, and it was like, yeah, it's not that good, you know.
It'll have some bad taste buds.
But if you're going with, you know, we frequently just have a straight up whiskey, like we happen to have a bottle of Wild Turkey Bourbon behind us. Well, this is a great well liquor. By well liquor, I don't mean like the bottom of the barrel stuff that you get at certain bars. I mean like, well, if I'm just going to pour somebody a drink with bourbon, like there you go, bourbon.
I have a funny story, actually.
Because you can go really stratospheric with bourbon these days, and you can absolutely do that with rye, and it's a little nutty. But if you just want an old-fashioned with rye or bourbon, that's your bottle right there.
After a few drinks, everything slides for me. Oh, this is my grandfather's drink. Harvey's Bristol Cream. Oh.
Harvey's.
Oh. As long as you make them whiskey sours.
Oh, well, you know, that was I believe that was your parents' drink. And
blended whiskey, fortified wine. I'm with you, Joe. Yep.
You know, my mother actually had got into a kind of a craze for whiskey sours for a while. And what did she do? She used the stuff in the little packet, the little powder in the packet. Bartender's friend. And
I just shudder when I hear that.
You mix those up and you get a very specific flavor. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's kind of what a whiskey sour tastes like. It's kind of artificial. It's a lot of citric acid.
Kind of.
You can do this where it's a lot fresher
form. Kind of.
By using your own sour mix, by just using simple syrup and the lemon juice, and that will be just fine. And a twist is a great idea in a whiskey sour.
Harold says, LOL on the challenge. The real challenge would be staying coherent. Exactly.
The old man beer is like you've got 4 different shot glasses of beer. Well, you do 4 of those and you're like, yeah, whatever.
I have a story that was probably a lot funnier in the moment than it is now. But last week, okay, so Sardi's reopened in New York City. And we love Sardi's because it's really this just classic place that you can go.
Fantastic.
And, you know,
it's a theater bar.
It's just like you walk in there and it's just history.
Yeah. Because they have all of these caricatures of actors on the wall.
But since it's not hip anymore, you can get a seat. So, like, you can go in there and, like, you're just walking into history, but you can get a bar stool.
There used to be 2 fantastic places to grab a drink after a show around Times Square. And one of them was Howard Johnson's.
Oh, God.
Which had a blender bar. And for years, that was just such a great déclassé place to grab a drink. It was a bushwhacker, I know, but it was fun. And of course, they got bought out, and then like the guy who bought it was a real jackass. I don't even want to go into that. But Sardi's is still there. This is a theater bar from the 20s that has been serving shows forever. Literally for almost 100 years, they have been actually there as the after show bar where you go to read the early papers.
Yeah, opening night, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so.
They're still there. They still serve a fantastic food menu. And if you just want to go up and have a few drinks, upper bar.
They closed for a really long time during the pandemic. And I really was worried that they would never reopen. But they did. They reopened. So when we found out, let's go. So we went. And I got there before Paul. So I'm like, I'm going to open a tab. So I went up to the bar and I ordered a martini. And the mixologist who
You were not?
has been there for a really long time. Not as long as the other guy whose name I really should know and I don't. But he was like, do you have a preference on gin? And I said, no, not really. But then I thought to say like, well, what are you serving? And he had Georgie, which is this really, really cheap gin.
Plastic bottles.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, what else do you have?
Probably
and
not.
They had tons of gin. So I picked a better gin.
There are better gins to pick. And easily done and not crazy.
My point in telling this story is I don't have fantastic taste buds, but I feel like there's like a really bottom shelf level. And if you go above that, you're probably good. But the bottom shelf, don't do it.
We've also been to a particular...
Order martini, as one does. Yeah, it was...
As one does.
Well, and I
as
said...
one does.
He gave me a lot of choices, and I went for the Tanqueray. And he was like, yeah, like, if I went for the Georgie, he would have been like, oh, that poor woman.
Oh,
but...
that's what they had.
Hi, Keith.
Hey!
Hey.
So nice to see you. We're still actually enjoying the Be My Baby in an old-fashioned glass.
We loved
double.
21. 21 closed. It closed. We loved 21.
I've never been to Smith & Wollensky. That's a steakhouse that's been there since 1977, I believe.
That's still there. Yeah.
That's been there long enough that I was actually going to the big city as a kid in that era, and, well, my mother didn't take us to Smith & Wollensky. Well,
why not?
That would have been lost on us. But I'm thinking of the fact that I was in the city at the same time.
You can't do bottom shelf in a martini.
Smith & Wollensky and
no.
the. Who am I thinking of anyway? I remember being there at the same era as both Smith & Wollensky and Studio 54. You know, that's something.
Did you go to Studio 54?
I'm just imagining my mother taking us to Studio 54. And like Steve Rebell outside saying, oh no, you're not coming in with those two kids. Okay, well, we'll go somewhere else. You know?
Lewis says my hangovers tell me which ones to avoid. Right?
Yeah, that'll do.
You showed me the Georgie. I'm like, no.
Martini has to be like decent ethanol with some good flavorings added. Well, we know some local places that will give you some excellent, excellent gin. And so do you. Check your local distillery is making good gin. Because
I'm glad I asked. I was like, well, actually.
Yeah, it's good to know what's happening.
What is your well gin? Like, oh, no.
By the same token, if you walk into this joint and you say, hey, I'd like a French 75, the first question out of their mouth is not, what is that? It is, do you like gin or brandy? Now, that's the correct question.
I appreciate that question.
And I appreciate that question because that's one of my go-tos. We have that pretty much every week around here. And the correct answer is, what do you like in it? That's the kicker. The original liquor was very clearly gin, but brandy works very well. I like them both.
Not together, but...
No, not together. But... Yeah, no. Yes. No. No. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No.
Ugh.
Yes. No.
But yeah, we've been talking about a wide variety of various and sundry liquors, mixed things, single malt things, and old man whiskey. Well, old man whiskey could be some pretty bottom shelf stuff, or it could be like Crown. And frankly, Crown is a really nice blend of whiskeys. It's just whiskey. It's not cut with a bunch of spurious stuff. It's just whiskeys cut to make a blend. Same thing as you would do with Scotch. And I think it's nice stuff, and it's pretty good over a rock. And it makes a great base. We made a fantastic tribute to Ronnie Spector right here because we didn't realize that she had left us.
No, I didn't. I haven't been on the news today.
Damn it, I got to play a lot of Ronettes tomorrow.
Yeah. And
so do all of you. Well, I hate to report that some of the classics are no longer with us because it's been happening a lot lately.
Don't report it. Just...
But you know, I don't need to tell you. Yep.
Is it that time?
It probably is. Well,
right. How are you feeling, though?
better since I had some cold medicine.
All
2
right.
glasses worth.
Okay, all right.
10 glasses worth, I would feel worse. But 2 glasses worth, I feel better. So I recommend
Oh, Fab's like
a glass or 2. Yep.
Bloody Marys.
Oh.
Why not?
Well, I think that the original Bloody Mary,
Why
probably
not?
called a Red Snapper, was probably a gin drink. And that's the history of the thing. And then eventually vodka
That's
really starts
tequila.
taking over. And, doesn't matter. Ted's. Oh, boy. You need to talk, Amy, sometimes you need to talk to Christy and Jeff about the extremely spurious bottle of tequila that they still have kicking around the house.
Do they still?
There is still a drag in that bottle of tequila.
Oh my gosh.
That was bought by, I believe, his mother. And you can still see the price of the bottle. And it is not really good. I would call it a blended tequila, which means it's probably about 40% tequila and 60% filler. Not a good idea with tequila.
Oh, no.
We happen to like tequila that may well be blended, but is in fact all agave spirits.
Oh, jeez.
The reposado gives you a
Oh.
nice flavor base to go with, and that's what we like in the tequila. It is going to cost you a little more for your margarita,
A little more.
but it is well worth it. So that's the thing. We just want you to enjoy all of these spirits the way they're intended without terrible side effects. I had some
Well,
terrible...
on that note,
Oh.
I've
I've been trying to counter terrible side effects because I don't know what hit me. I think it was at this point, I don't even know. There are too many things. It might have just been a head cold. It might have been the flu. I'm still standing, so I don't think it's the flu.
Yeah.
Could have been the big thing because I've been shot up a few times.
I thought we might be doing this broadcast at least from the sofa, if not from bed. So the fact that you're still standing is good news.
I guess it didn't hit me that hard. But also, I actually had a couple of glasses of cold medicine, and I feel much, much better.
Oh.
So I say, if you're not of a sickness where you really shouldn't have a drink would probably help a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Oh.
Let it go.
Holy
Sake
wasabi.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, that's going to punch you in the
Wow.
punch you in the back of
Oh
the
my
throat.
gosh, I love it.
Big fun.
I love it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you for joining us, everyone. We really, really, really appreciate all of you. And stay safe and healthy and warm.
Wherever you are, in some places in the country, you're
That might be
much
harder than other
much
places.
higher temperatures than what we're getting here, and I recommend that. So stay where you are. Don't travel.
Exactly.
If you have an inkling,
Don't travel.
if you're thinking to yourself, "I'd like to see Vermont right now. Maybe we'll do some skiing." Yeah, probably.
Maybe wait till spring.
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, just like all of these ski resorts are having trouble actually getting people in there with all this. Yeah, what do you have to do? It's crazy. So I would say, enjoy it. If you could send me about 15 more degrees in a box, I'd appreciate it. We'll try it. We'll try it.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what's what, but if I'm still standing, then it can't be that bad. Because
His test was negative, whatever that means.
I have no idea.
Whatever.
I did not get hit the way that some people get hit with this thingy, which means that I'm fantastically fortunate and I was able to get a shot or 3.
All right. Yeah,
Which I
Erickson,
did.
get better. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Please. We've heard of other people out there feeling pretty under the weather. And I will say the same to you.
Yeah.
Feel better. A lot of fluids never hurts. And when you feel a little better, a little whiskey doesn't hurt either. So,
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, you have a good night and thank you for joining us. And we will
See you.